Welcome to episode 14 of the current Backloggers. The date is May 14th. I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co host, Cody G. Cody, how's it going?
It's going really good. I was gonna try to come in at the same level you were, but I was like, I can't do it. So I stopped and thought about it. I was like, I can do this, but I can't.
I thought you were
I
just kind
couldn't
of,
do it.
I thought you were off put by my intro. You're like, oh God, what is this?
No, I was trying to match it. I was trying to do like a wrestling thing.
That's what I was going for. But
Oh, buddy, nice.
it kind of threw me off because I had to look at my phone to make sure I had the date right. And so it kind of threw me. And probably looked really dumb because just looking at my phone to look like I'm probably reading everything. I don't know how to intro the show. Um, so I think we can first start off with some very important news. Um, Peter wanted us to talk about on the show, so I thought I'd lead off the show with it. And have you seen the redesign of Toucan Sam, the famous mascot of Fruit Loops?
No, I haven't.
So I think I might actually post this in the video too. I might try and start doing that when we're talking about certain things. But I'm going to send it to you right now on Facebook so you can see him, and then we can discuss him.
You know, I just watched Matt Stoney, the famous professional eater, the man I strive to be.
Uh huh.
Um, he just ate 3 boxes of Fruit Loops in one sitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. My mouth would be destroyed after one
Yeah.
bowl. I'm already done. Whoa. Kind of reminds me of like when Cartoon Network had a really good show in the early 2000s,
hmm
and then in 2016 they were like, "Oh, we're gonna rebrand it and bring it back."
What show's that?
They did it with the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, like yeah, and we're talking about. I thought you were talking
I think
about a
there was a few
particular show.
shows.
Um,
Teen Titans.
yeah. So he was sending crazy messages about how upset he is, and the internet's losing their fucking minds, and it's like a whole thing now as it normally is. So like most internet things, I think it's obviously blown out of proportion, but he also is pretty fucking terrible, especially compared to the old one. And I don't really get when companies do this. Like if it's not fixed, don't broke. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And I feel like he's been around forever, and I don't know why they need to change him to look like this fucking trippy kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't get the beak colors. I
Yeah.
think everything minus the mouth. The mouth is throwing me off too. That does not look okay. Um, this almost looks fake. Like it's so bad that it looks like somebody on clip art.
That's why I thought at first.
You know
You
when
sh-
your parents buy the cheap cereal?
yeah.
It like comes in the portions are ridiculous. It's the same price, but it comes in like dog bags,
Uh
dog
huh.
food bags. That's the kind of shit. And it's like fruit circles instead of Fruit Loops or something.
Yeah. You should look at the picture and kind of cover up everything but or cover up his head and just look at the mouth. It gets way more uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just doesn't go with the beak. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there.
I don't know what the box is gonna look like either. If that fucking thing, that alone already looks crazy. I can't imagine what the box is gonna look like.
Wow. What's your favorite cereal?
That I don't have a favorite for sure. I have a lot that I switch between. Some of my tops are cinnamon toast crunch, cookie crisp, um, French toast crunch. I feel like there's ones like I'll get cinnamon toast crunch for like 3 months straight, and then I'll stop getting it and switch to something else. So I don't have for sure a favorite, but also pretty much any cereal is designed for a little kid is usually my jam. Any more adult cereal is pretty fucking gross, I think.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Um, I'd probably have to go with it depends if I'm in a mood for chocolatey.
Mm-hmm.
Reese's.
Reese Puffs.
Yeah, or and then if it's like, oh, a little fruity, fruity pebbles.
I hear ya. Yeah, Reese Puffs are good. The issue with chocolate cereal for me is, I think you're one of these heathens that loves drinking the milk after cereal, and it's fucking
Oh yeah.
disgusting and kind of warm, and a little bit of flavor, but gross. And any chocolate cereal is even worse than a fruity cereal for me for that because I hate chocolate milk. So once it starts getting like diluted in there, that's when it gets gross. But
You know when I think I have your diet figured out? Like, oh yeah, he just eats like a child. Then you throw a little wrench in there that you hate chocolate milk. I've heard you say it before, but it still catches me.
um, I'd give you something weirder if you don't remember. I used to love banana milk, which some people don't even know that's a thing.
What the fuck is a banana milk?
It's the same as chocolate or strawberry. They used to have it at Kroger's and most places, banana milk. Some places still have it.
The fuck? Banana. You make me want to try it. That sounds fucking delicious.
Yeah, I wish it was more common because now that I'm older, I'd totally put that in substitute of regular milk and ice cream, like vanilla and banana, and just make a banana milkshake. Which, speaking of milkshakes, me and Danielle and Fruit Loops kind of bring both these together. You know how Burger King had that Fruit Loops shake for a while?
No.
Oh, really? I thought I told you about it. It's one of the best milkshakes ever. But it's like most of their items. Burger King can either be the best or pretty average. Could get rid of all their best items, and that's one of the ones they got rid of. And we've been missing it, so I decided to get vanilla ice cream and a box of Fruit Loops, and I just poured it in the blender, and it tastes actually almost identical, which I was kind of
Really?
surprised because yeah, when they make it, you can see them pour like some flavor extract in there. So I was guessing the Fruit Loops probably didn't actually really flavor it. I thought that was just kind of like for aesthetic or whatever. So I was worried when I was making it that it wouldn't taste anything like it, but it's pretty damn close and definitely worth trying. And now we're like, oh my god, we could get any cereal and just make a milkshake version of it.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Probably not good for the blender, but I mean, blender's gonna go bad at some point anyways.
Yeah. No, blenders can chop up ice, all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
I,
Um, that's you make me want to go get some ice cream now, fruity pebbles, and try that.
that one might even be even easier because those things are so small that blender probably wouldn't have any issue with that.
You know, Matt Stoney, after eating like all these delicious cereals and as a competition, he finished the video by saying he thinks his next one's Raisin Bran, and that is one of the worst cereals.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is, it's so disgusting. That's probably my worst cereal.
I don't know about worst. I have to think about that. Like I said, almost any adult cereal I don't really like, so it'd be hard to figure out my worst favorite or my least favorite.
I did hear that overseas they don't get as much cereal as we do, and there's actually some cafe that will import American cereal, and it's a cafe just for cereals.
That sounds great.
But
Well, it sounds sad in one way because if you had to get that just to get that cereal, that would fucking suck. Like I go to the aisle, I'm like, oh my god, there's so many choices. What do I get? But if I didn't have that,
yeah,
that'd be awful. But at the same time, it's a cool idea.
I hear some people on eBay sell American cereals overseas.
Huh. Um, do you got anything random you want to talk about before we get a normal show guy?
Uh, not really.
No. Um,
Neighbor was getting a tree removed over the last like 3 days. And our driveways are side by side, so they asked if they could use our driveway, and we're like, sure. Um, I don't know. It's just awkward with the neighbors. They cut down the tree. They're cutting down the tree, and they are they are pretty redneck, white trash, and it's like his
uh-huh.
whole family. It's like even like these little kids running around by this tree. These are people that are cutting it down. This is a company, and they come over to us and like, hey, you got some bad trees too. You want us to cut them down? And he gave the spiel to Renee, my girlfriend, and my dad. My dad was over because he thought my dad would live there. And then so I found him later, and I was like, "Hey man, you want to give me a quote? And I got some brush you could take out too." And he was like, I gotta finish this one first. Just got real dismissive and made it seem like I was inconveniencing him, and he was pissed. And he's like, I gotta finish my break, man. I'm on a break right now. And I was nothing but really polite. So I was like, this is just really awkward. And they were over here all day today, yelling at each other. And somebody in their family of the Clampets, then after done eating their food, took the crust off their bread and just threw it in my driveway. Just little stuff like that was getting to me today. So then I'm picking up another human's crust off my driveway that's got their bite marks out of it. And I tried to be polite to my neighbors. I was cutting down trees in my own yard that I wanted to take brush out of. And so after I was like done with that, I was like, I'm not having to do this. So I moved the brush myself. And later he's like, I would have got that for you, man. Okay. It's gone now. So you could have stopped me at any time. Like, it was just really like, it was just really passive aggressive. I mean, I feel like my neighbors, everyone's just passive aggressive with each other. And it almost feels like, you know how you have an argument with somebody and it's never settled, but you just move on. So every time you run into that person, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It feels like that, but we've never had an argument with either of our neighbors. So I'm cutting down these trees out by my property, and the other neighbor, this is the other guy, comes out without his shirt on with his big gut out, and he's got his hand on his hip, like above it, with his gut hanging out, and his pit bull barking at me, just like, rawr, 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 rawr. And because you don't know what dogs bark is.
Especially if that was not a pit bull bark either, which makes it even better.
But you know the scene, I think it's Dodgeball, where the one kid's like cleaning out the tires for the one redneck.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got that's exactly what it was, and he was just staring at me. Clearly like saying, like, I'm seeing if you're gonna hear to fuck up anything on my property. And he didn't have a shirt on. I think I already said that, but that was the weirdest part to me. I didn't get that. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with my neighbors, but I feel like I'm losing my mind. And when we moved into the house, the deck was a concern for us because it looks a little rough. So we told the inspector, like, hey, what do you think about this deck? He's like, shit, man, sand it down, clean it up, you're good to go, brother. I'm like, shit, yeah, we're good to go, man. Then my dad looked at it and I was like, this is really bad. I probably wouldn't even be on this. And so I paid to have a guy come out, or he didn't pay. It was just like, hey, can you come look at this? So he came and look at it. And he's like, I'm not touching that. What do you mean? Yeah, no, I'm not touching that, man. Like, is it bad or what? Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, man. This is really bad, and I don't think they had a permit when they built this, and could be an illegal deck, and it's probably gonna disconnect from the house, and it's in really bad shape. And I can't be I don't know, whatever that word is for responsible. I can't be responsible for this after I work on it, and I don't even feel safe working on it. So I was like, cool. And that was it. Every time I run into my neighbor, the one that got the tree chopped down, it's like, hey, how's it going, man? He doesn't say hi. Yeah, or he'll get just like a muh. And I was like, hey, everybody out walking the dogs today, because like everybody in the neighborhood, like I sound so white and absolutely dumb, and really putting myself out there to have a dumb fake conversation with this person, and it's like a brick wall every time, both sides of me. And so I've just felt like an absolute cuck today, because even the guys that came over to do an estimate on the tree treated me like an idiot. Like the guy that did an estimate for my deck asked for the guy chopping down trees business cards, because contractors, they trade business cards. So he hands me one business card. So like, oh, okay, he wants this to go to my contractor. So I hand him the business card. The guy's like, no, that's for you. These are for him. And I handed him a whole stack. And then he went in this long, elaborate story about what business cards are and why he gave him a bunch and I only get one. Like I'm a little child idiot. I was like, I can't stand this. And I just really hate humans today. So that's it. There's some more stuff in there. But I forgot. Oh, then after they chopped down this tree, and I told them I didn't want them chopping down my tree, because I might have pissed them off, because it was like, oh, do you guys have insurance? Because you have your grandkids running around with these saws, and I don't care. There's people that have problems, addiction problems, but they they were all his cousins and brothers and sons and stuff like that. But they all had like 3 months clean bands on their arms, and one guy was wearing a band that says "Addiction Sucks." That's from some rehab program. So I don't know. And then one time the guy came over to me real close and he's like, "I didn't park on your driveway." I was like, "Yep, you did it. Good job." "Yeah, man. So no problems." I was like, "Yeah, no worries, man." And then later he got real close to me and was walking up the sidewalk so he could look at my tree. He kind of stepped up before I did and kind of stared at my face a little too close, like a "you want to go" kind of thing. I've also been watching a lot of 60 Days In, which is a prison show. So it's all about body language of how to survive in prison. So I'd probably put that a little too much meaning behind his presence in their rehab bands. But I was like, yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't want my tree cut down because also they estimated it really high, and then later it was almost like a threat. He's like, "You know what brought this tree down, right?" I was like, "Yeah, your guy over there said it was ants. Ants. Now they don't have a home. Where do you think they're going?" "I don't know." "Well, tell you one thing, man. Your trees are the closest thing." "Oh, okay. Are you threatening me now? Like you're gonna put ants on my trees or something?" Like it was real weird. It felt like a shakedown. Like we're gonna put some ants on your trees. And then he came over and he's like, "Yeah, here's an ant. Here's an ant right here." And I was like, "Oh, I think that's a spider. That's a spider. Oh yeah, that's a spider, isn't it?" "Yeah, I don't see any ants." But yeah, so it felt like a shakedown, and it's been real awkward because I don't know how to match people's feelings because it's been real weird. Um, I really sympathize with autistics today because I've really felt like an autistic person today, and that's not even a joke. That was like seriously like because they say autism is they don't know people like situations or how to handle or how to act normal, I guess, in situations, and that's how I felt. Like I was like, wait, are we being aggressive right now? Is this a joke? Like what's happening here? So I now I kind of sympathize for Ryan a little bit too because I feel like
Uh,
that's kind of how he felt in situations. Um, so I have a new understanding. That's not even a joke. Like, that's not even supposed to be offensive.
uh, I'm
That's
just,
does that make
I,
sense?
yeah, I just know how he'll take that. So,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah, no, that wasn't any offense to autistic people, Ryan.
Um, well, I have one thing to go off of that. So when you're talking about this guy looking at the deck, so
Yeah,
basically he came up and he's like, "I ain't doing it," is what you're
yeah,
telling me.
that's pretty much what it was. Yeah, he said I ain't doing it.
Um, no, but what I was actually gonna say was the way you described that when he walked up, and, yeah, I'm not touching it, and it got all weird and everything. This sounds identical to every like demon or possession movie. They come in the house. Yeah, I'm not going there. Can't go in that room. Well, why not? I just can't do it.
I mean, but does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. Like, are we being aggressive with each other right now? Are we mad at each other? Like, I didn't know where I played out in the whole situation. And honestly, I would have preferred my house to be infested with demons than deal with the awkwardness of today. Because every time this is also what happened today. I go to pull in my driveway, and his grandson's probably about 7, and I was a fat kid growing up. I'm still fat, so he was fat too, and he's just sitting there awkwardly eating something, and just standing in the middle of my driveway, just staring at my car as I'm trying to pull in. And it kind of reminded me of your situation of when you were parking
Uh huh.
that one time at your house where the kids just stared at you. So it's like, what is happening here? And nobody says hi or hello. Like I felt like I was teleported back to like another country, and I didn't know the norms of the country, and just felt so out of place. And then it made me mad because I was like, wait, I'm the normal one here, but everyone's treating me like I'm the idiot that's not being normal. And I just it's been a weird day, as you can tell by my rambling. And I've been all over the place because I'm like, should I go out there and yell at these people? Like, hey, you guys got to get off of here and move, or am I being nice? Did I do something to my neighbors? Like, what the hell is going on here?
Um, well, I'm glad you actually started talking about stuff like that because I was talking about like random news or anything, but I completely skipped past our normal what have we been up to at the beginning because my ridiculous intro, I wasn't processing things normally. Um, so have you been up to anything besides that guy?
No, I'm just trying to figure out where I play out in this neighborhood, and I feel like something was off because when we moved here, there was really nice people across the street that we got along with. They wrote us this nice welcome to the neighborhood thing, and they're like, "Hey, if you know anybody that wants to be your neighbor, we're leaving." And I kind of feel like it was a warning. Hey guys, you need to get out of here. And now they're gone. They've moved and they're trying to sell their house. And now I'm just left with crazy people. They're not even crazy. It's just weird. It's not. It's awkward. Maybe I have autism. Maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know. I really sympathize with autistic people after today. I feel like I was in your guys' shoes for one day, and that was enough for me to be like, "Wow, this is exhausting." Trying to figure out what any of these social cues mean. I'm really hoping that this podcast stop recording and we can start another one because it's been on my mind all day and I have no one to talk to about this. And I was like, I'm not even gonna talk about this on the podcast. I'm gonna wait till the podcast's over and talk to Casey about it. But
um,
no, I was like, you know what? I got to.
well, luckily for you, it hasn't stopped, but I can go on to something else so you don't have to feel like you can talk about it. Um, so,
See, I'm cringing right now. I'm cringing.
so I've actually been up to something different for once in the past like 2 months because it's a normal 40-hour week as normal. But then Friday and Saturday, me, Danielle, and my little sister went out of town. I know,
Whoa.
yeah, as I say, I know I can't say that and no way judge or anything, but for one, I don't care, and two, we've all been doing good with all this nonsense anyways, and I think better than most people that act that they care a lot anyways. So I'm okay with it, and it's three people that have been around each other throughout any of this anyways. But this was a week we were supposed to go to Disney World, and it didn't happen because all this nonsense, obviously. And Michaela would have graduated that weekend, so that got canceled, obviously too. So we wanted something a replacement to have fun, take our
She already
minds
got
off
her
things.
associates?
Yeah.
Dude, she's a genius. That took me like 4 years. Good for
Um,
her.
but so we decided to do something kind of smaller. We're gonna do a Disney night where we watch a ton of Disney movies and they bought a ton of Disney decorations and made Disney recipes and played games and whatnot. But then we also coupled it with Buckeye, my dog, his 10-year-old birthday. His dog ate old. So we wanted to take him to Portillo's for his first road trip and first Portillo's trip ever because their mascot's a wiener dog, so it's kind of destiny. And so we combined it all into last Friday and Saturday, taking a trip to Indianapolis to get Portillo's with um, Danielle, my girlfriend, Michaela, my little sister, and Buckeye, our dog. And all went on a road trip to get some Portillo's, and it was fucking amazing. And then we stopped at Casey's multiple times, the Casey's General Store. Fantastic experiences. We went to Papa Murphy's, which is the best take and bake pizza ever. I don't know if you've ever had it, Cody.
No, but um, that bar is kind of low though, isn't it?
That is true as low, but I feel like this is better than a lot of real pizzas, I guess I should say. But it's easily best take and bake because, yeah, I guess that is a low bar. There used to be a few of them in Central Ohio, but all of them in Ohio closed, and Indianapolis is the closest one I know of. So we
Oh
bought a
wow.
few of those and brought them back, and then just did a lot of. We did that Friday, and then Friday night did a little bit of Disney stuff, and then all of Saturday did Disney stuff. So it was a nice change of pace from not being able to do everything for the past 2 months and just having the same things talked about every time.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah, I
But you know
mean,
who also has good take and bake? Now I just think about it. Just thought about it.
who's that?
Is Donato's.
Oh yeah, we actually had that the past 2 nights. We got some of those because we were done with Papa Murphy's. We had all the ones. We need more. So yeah, theirs is good, but I think Papa Murphy's is better than theirs. Not than their
Really?
real pizza, but yeah, better than their take and bake. Um, but besides that, it's all just been the normal stuff. Is there anything, like I said, it's my fault for going out of order. Is there anything random you want to talk about? You don't have to talk more about your deck, don't worry. But anything random you want to
My
talk about before we
personal
get on?
Vietnam. Um, no, I don't think so. I've discovered my girlfriend. I always knew it, but now that we're like spending a lot more time with each other because we have opposite schedules or whatever and days off, she has a horrendous taste in TV shows.
I thought you've
You
known
ever
that for a
watched?
while.
Yeah, I have, man. But then I realized, like, wow, this is fucking trash. I thought like Bachelor was bad, but she's been watching this one called the Masked Singer.
Yeah.
The- That is so bad. Especially there's a segment where they take the mask off to reveal this. Sometimes they're real. I mean, they're really scraping the barrel for those celebrities. I would have never guessed some of those people. They're like, oh, the news anchor from 1987 in Cincinnati. Oh, I knew it. I knew it the whole time. They have this segment where they're like taking the masks off. You gotta watch it, man. It's the most cringe, anxiety-inducing thing ever. Oh, it's
it's
bad.
it's funny you say that because the other Cody and a lot of people from work keep telling me how I need to watch it, and they don't. They talk about it like every
Oh,
day. They love it.
there's people that watch this.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
not
lot
my
of people
girlfriend.
there, and I think part of it sounded interesting, but yeah, I've always known what it was, and I didn't want to watch it, especially because you said how you can't see them coming some of the time. I'm sure that is the case some of the time, but what's worse for me is that I feel like they fake it when they do know it. Like I don't know if you saw one with Lil Wayne. There's nobody else it could be besides fucking Lil Wayne. Oh Jesus, we didn't see this coming. Like, no,
Little Wayne was on there.
yeah, and he dressed as a fish, I think. Sorry if that was a spoiler for anybody, but and he sang different songs. They weren't rap songs, but you know his voice. There's no way it could be anybody except Lil Wayne. And I guess he lasted for a long time, and everybody said they had no idea it was him. No, well, yeah, you gotta watch the show to see it. It really didn't sound like him. I was like, no, I heard one song. It was so obvious it was Lil Wayne. No, well, that's because you already knew it was him. No, no, I would have known that. I know a lot of people have issues with seeing things in retrospect and be like, oh no, I would have known, but I don't see how you don't know who Lil Wayne is.
Yeah, I gotta look those up now.
Yeah, you should. I, I heard Sarah Palin was on there. That one I don't know how you don't know either, but I guess there is some people who are just kind of sound average or don't have recognizable voices, but people like him, I don't know who else you could possibly think it is.
But it did help me for the Tiger King casting
Ah,
because it helped me cast.
okay. I got my list. Is there anything you want to say before we get to that?
Um, no, that's it, man. There's some shitty reality shows. 90 Day Fiance. That's
Oh,
pretty fucking bad.
yeah, a few of my coworkers love that too.
Dude, what? Who are you working with? I'm like, why are these shows so big? Like, why is this? Why is this so? You realize, man, there's a lot of people out there watching this shit.
Um, Before we start our casting and then go on to the normal show, the only other thing I would say is I don't know if you've been paying attention to sports, but it seems like everything's kind of just moving to sports happening,
Yeah, I see that.
which I'm sure I know a lot of people are going to be upset about, but I couldn't be more excited. And I feel like there is going to be, even if it happens, there's going to be a lot of weird restrictions and not the same as sports as we know it, but hopefully that won't be permanent.
I'm excited.
I don't know if you saw
What's the updates on the NHL?
um, the all their what do you call it? I guess not training camps, but training facilities are open if teams want to use them, and the it's still kind of a combination of everything that they're planning to starting in June or July, and and then one of the playoff formats with either having the teams that are in the playoffs now in the playoffs or having 24 teams in, and then having the four hub cities. So not much new news, just that it keeps coming and coming from like official people. So it seems like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I was just talking to a lady about that yesterday. She saw my debit card, and we got in the discussion of the Blue Jackets
Yeah.
and how weird it's been.
And I don't know if you saw, but Mike DeWine said he renewed his Ohio State football season tickets, and he said that he renewed them because he believes there'll be a season. And I know he's not in control of that because that's a whole other issue with every other state being involved and every city and everything. But I feel like the fact that he was one of the strongest people against it and closing everything and already canceled Red, White, and Boom, which is one of the biggest events in Ohio. But yet he's willing to point out something like that. And I'm sure a lot of people would say that, well, yeah, he has a shitload of money and he could get those tickets for free, so it's not a big deal that he got tickets. I think a bigger point isn't that he has the tickets. I feel like he's trying to obviously push a narrative about it because, yeah, obviously he could get tickets if he wants them.
No, no, I agree. I don't think he'd make that statement without having some sort of meaning behind it.
Yeah. Um, I guess the only other thing I'll say about it, did you see that Akron today announced that they were going to be removing men's golf, men's cross country, and women's tennis because they say they don't have enough money for all the athletics.
Akron,
University.
oh, uh, that's not that surprising though.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people go, well, it's not football or any of the big sports, so it doesn't matter. But that does still kind of suck if you were one of those people that was in that sport and that was like your life to just be like, yep, we're getting rid of this. And it's not surprising, but yeah, I feel like that is obviously a sign of the times and makes you wonder how many things are going to be messed up because of it. That they just drop 30 sports like that.
Have they said anything about movie theaters either?
No, they haven't said that. Today they said um, gyms, pools, and recreation centers can open on May 26th. And they said announcements about theme parks will come out later date. So I'm guessing theaters will have to be soon if they're going to announce theme parks.
I saw Cinemark's closing some locations.
Yeah.
Sporadic. The one location is infamous for being a very dead mall,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not shocking. And I watched some YouTube videos on that specific mall. It was kind of, oh, there's a Cinemark there.
Yeah.
It's kind of shocking, but it's understandable.
Um, I'm glad you said that. Actually, that's one more thing we could talk about. That's not really the normal show related. Did you see Amazon is reportedly in talks to buy AMC?
Oh wow, holy cow, that'd be great.
It came from something called a street. So it's called Street, not the Street. So it sounds like they're kind of like a Forbes thing, though. It sounded legitimate. I just don't know how much I buy that, and I think it would be great in some aspects, but terrible in others. Like I think it does make sense in for Amazon's perspective because they could control the biggest movie chain, and they already have um, a video production company and put out original things.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't think about that. Have exclusives.
yeah, I just don't know how that works because I feel like that's one of the big selling points for the Prime membership and um, Amazon originals that they go straight to there. So I don't know if they're going to withhold it from that service and be like, you have to see it in the theaters because I feel like that backfires. Or they're just going to be like, hey, this is in the theaters. And if you have your Prime membership, you can go see it in the theaters if you want, or you can just watch it at your house. And then I don't know what that means for the Stubbs membership that I told you that I have and have told you a lot about. I feel like I could see them either getting rid of that, which would really suck, or I could see them including that into your Prime account. And if you have a Prime account, then you get this thing that AMC already has, especially because it's already something that's made and they don't have to put any thought or marketing into it or anything. It's just already baked in if they actually did buy them.
That'd be amazing, man. I'd be way too hype for that kind of stuff if that was, because I know what would end up happening is kind of like when they bought Whole Foods. They're like, oh, we're not incorporating Whole Foods is completely separate from us.
Yeah.
But then, sure as shit, they incorporated a lot of shit into Whole Foods. And I'm trying to
Yeah.
think what they could do for Amazon that would be kind of, besides the stubs mixed with Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I do like it in one sense, and then also I'm worried that I don't think they're doing this, but I feel like if they could buy them at such a cheap price, they could even just buy them and shut them down and just be like, well, now we got the stranglehold because everything's streaming and there's no theaters to go to anymore. I know there's other theaters, but I'm saying that would take a huge chunk away. But yeah, I'd hope it would be the opposite, that they would buy it and try and use it to their advantage and build it up to be a bigger thing. I also think it's funny that people hate on Disney and all these big companies for trying to buy everything out, and they hate on Walmart for being this terrible corporation, but they love Amazon and think they're like the most wholesome thing in the world. And I love Amazon and I love Walmart and Disney and all of these, but I think it's funny how people kind of pick and choose with them.
Yeah, I would say though Amazon does get a lot of hate.
You think so?
Yeah, especially because Bezos, like everyone's like, oh, he's got so much wealth, as if he has, those billions sitting in a bank account. Um, and then they talk about like the all those strikes and people coming out supporting people that work in distribution centers for them, and Amazon's killing the small local businesses. So I think it could be like when Walmart first started, like everyone's like, whoa, Sam Walton and all this positivity, and look at what it's doing for the community. And then slowly over the years, it kind of um, people changed their views on Walmart as this evil thing
Yeah.
that destroyed local businesses.
Yeah.
There's a PBS documentary on that. I
Oh, on
forget what it's called.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I could barely watch it because parts of it was true, but yeah, it was so dramatized and over the top about these businesses that would have been in business without if it wasn't for Walmart. And some of these businesses were so niche and so small that Walmart wasn't what killed you. A lot of them were definitely your own fault.
Yeah. Actually, I had to watch that for a class in college. I
Oh,
had to write a
really?
paper on it and everything.
Yeah, it was interesting. I just feel like it went a little too over the top and ignored a lot of things that weren't really Walmart's doing.
It's fun to watch. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but turning someone on to Amazon and then talking to them a few weeks after they get Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of happened with both my parents, like me talking them into it. Like my dad would go to these parts stores and be like, "Okay, I gotta wait 2 weeks for this special part to come in." I'm like, "Well, here it is on Amazon for cheaper price, and it's on Prime." And then my mom and now both of them buy more shit on Amazon than I do. And my mom buys like this special type of ferret food for ferrets, and she found it on Amazon for a fraction of the price and got it quicker than what the pet store could have, and it
Yeah.
just blew her mind. We were talking about that today. So it's an unbelievable. It is so convenient,
Yeah.
and Amazon has every product. So it's it's exciting. So I get why people would be happy about Amazon, especially because where my mom lives, it's pretty dead.
Yeah.
It's the same town where people would have said, "Oh, Walmart killed all the local businesses." But yeah, I don't know. I think that's why I love Amazon more
Oh,
than Walmart.
yeah, like I said, I do too. I'm not one of those people saying Amazon's bad. I just think it's funny how it does seem like people pick and choose, and they say they stop shopping at Walmart because they're a giant corporation that does disgusting things. And like, oh yeah, I'm on Amazon every day. It's great. Um, I don't know. We'll see if anything comes from this. I don't, It was only one report, so I feel like if it does happen, I feel like it's gonna be all over the place and a lot bigger news. But I thought it was something interesting that I could see benefits and I could see downsides depending on how they handle it.
100%.
Um, but the casting for the Tiger King, we how many characters we got? It's really weird calling them characters, but I don't know what else. People. We talked about 7 different people and cast them. So who you want to start with? Oh,
Let's start with is it Jeff's girlfriend?
yeah, Lauren, his wife.
This this one I honestly had the hardest time with.
Really?
Yeah, I feel watching the documentary, man, I felt really bad for her. Um, she was in a pretty toxic relationship, and not even that. At that point, I was like, "There's some like mental abuse.
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
You have some. If you're dating someone like this, you probably already have some other problems." And I just felt terrible for her. And now she's pregnant with his child. So she feels like she's stuck. And I just got way too involved with this character that had like 3 lines in the whole documentary, and just felt terrible for her. But so I had a hard time casting it because I'm like, oh, this actress, but I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have anything to do with that asshole. I'm like, oh, this is a fake movie. Relax. So I went with. Should I go first? Is that how we're doing this? Sorry, I just started rambling.
No, yeah, you can go first. I was thinking we could you could tell me your character of her, and then I could tell you mine, and we could pick the next character.
Okay, okay. So I went with Emma Stone.
Oh, that's actually one of the ones I was debating.
Really? Okay.
Um, you don't have to, but did you want to add anything to that before I just skip over you?
Yeah, I kind of want to go with the comedy vibe, but also some seriousness with it,
Hmm.
and I feel like she's the perfect actress for that.
I gotcha.
She's super bad in the
Yeah,
serious movies she's done.
that's really weird. That's how I did most of my list is serious but funny. For most of these people, I feel like almost all of them could do it. And also, I try to get looks down, but also tried. It's a weird combination because I tried to get looks down, but then some of the time the acting didn't line up, or vice versa. And then the voices was a big thing. So I feel like I kind of had to find a middle ground for all this stuff. And I also tried to avoid any of the people you suggested last week because I feel like I don't want to steal the characters you were picking, so I had to try and avoid those. And I was also trying to avoid the ones I've heard like nonstop about like who should be who. But for Lauren, like I said, Emma Stone was one of my final ones actually, but I went with Karen Gillan. You'd probably recognize if you saw her. She was in um, Jumanji and she was in Guardians of the Galaxy, but you wouldn't know that because she's a Nebula, so you couldn't really see her.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I felt like she kind of actually looked like her, and I feel like she has that exact thing too, where she can be serious, but you can tell she can also be super witty and funny.
You Another character that I had thought of using for her
Uh,
or play her. I felt like she's too old, and I thought a part of her character was the fact that she's could actually be his daughter, and that this is really creepy and weird. So it didn't work out as well. But I didn't know her name,
mhm.
but her name is Leslie Bibb. Do you know who that is?
Sounds familiar.
She played Will Ferrell's wife in Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Thought she would be perfect because I think you need it a little bit trashy too to make it funny. But then I remember like the actual girl is not trashy at all. She seems actually normal. That's just wrapped up in the shit. As a bunch of these young people for some reason are just like, oh, this is a cult leader. Let me go follow them and have sex with them, um, and then marry them and weird shit. So I don't know the trashiness of it. I don't want her character. I sympathize so much for her.
Yeah,
And I,
that's oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, that's it. That's it. I'm just rambling.
That's really weird. Those were the three I narrowed down to. She was the third one.
No, shut up.
Yeah, it's super weird. But I thought Karen
Liv from
Gillan, because
Talladega Nights?
uh huh,
Nuh-uh.
I couldn't remember that being her name because I was trying to look up actresses, and I feel like she would fit it.
Holy shit, that's weird.
Uh, I was wondering how much a crossover it'd be between me and you. Like I said, especially since I tried to avoid the ones you mentioned last week, so we don't intentionally just line up on everything. Um, all right, who you want to go with next?
Um,
If you
let
want,
me see here.
if you want me to start, so it doesn't just seem like I'm piggybacking off of you and go, oh my god, I did that one too. I can, but like I said, I got my list, so I'm not gonna change anything.
Let's do Rick Kerman. He was the guy that's making the first documentary, and then all his shit
Uh
got
huh.
caught on fire.
Yeah. You want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know if you know the name, but I think once I tell you, you'll think it'll be a good casting. James Remar.
James Remar.
He was in Mortal Kombat, Dexter. You probably seen
Oh,
him.
dude, he's one of my all-time favorite movies, The Warriors.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, this
I
is a
feel
good
like he has the looks down, and I feel like his voice is a lot deeper. But I feel like if you've heard him in certain things, he can get it kind of like gross, like Weasley, like that guy has. But I feel like he could do actually really well.
one. Wow. They had my dad turned me onto that movie, and they'd done a reunion thing, and I watched it with my dad. It was so sad. That whole cast is. I mean, it's an old movie, but they are
Yeah.
really old. Um, that's so rude. That was not supposed to come off rude. I'm extra spicy tonight. But yeah, no, I agree. That's a really good one. That's better than mine, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by far. I think. Oh yeah, you had some good. That's a good one. Because this one took me a second to think because I was like, I don't know who to. The voice. He's got a very like specific voice.
hmm
I might have said it last week though.
Can't remember if you said his.
Woody Harrelson.
Maybe I can't remember, but yeah, I can see that.
Do you know who that is? Do you want
I
to Google him?
no, I know who that is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Zombieland, Hunger Games.
No, I was totally joking there. That sounded like an asshole.
Um, no, I can see that. They would definitely have to do. If they're trying to make him look like the people, they have to do some stuff looks wise with him. But I can see acting. I can see that.
Yeah. Yep. Uh, Pierce Brosnan was another one I thought of,
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
but that was the only other person I could think of for him.
Yeah.
Did you have any other people that you thought of?
No, because it's kind of weird. Watching the documentary, I wasn't thinking about a movie, so I wasn't like, oh, this guy will be perfect for this. But for some reason, with Rick Kirkman, he kind of reminded me of James Remar. So that one just kind of popped in my head. And I was like, ooh, he'd be perfect for that. I feel like that's why that one lines up so well. Though I was already kind of processing that for some reason.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a good one.
Um, let's do next. Let's do. I think you might laugh at my next one and think I'm joking, but let's do Doc Antle.
Doc Antle. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I found it. Okay.
Okay,
You
you
want me
can
to
go
go
first.
first?
Yep.
All right. I didn't. I meant. I was gonna ask you if like these people could still be alive, actors wise,
Uh
because the whole time I was. It's kind of similar to your Rick.
huh.
The whole time I was watching this, I knew exactly who he reminded me of.
I
But
was thinking.
unfortunately,
Oh, go ahead.
he's dead. He was
Oh,
dead. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
yeah, I did think about that, and I should have told you. I was thinking current actor or live actors and actresses, but you can definitely look say the one since you're looking it up.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's that's super weird. That's the reason that I debated it. So he'd be perfect for that, but I think we're should do live people, so that'll knock him off of there.
There was weird. It was like him in an alternate reality. Um, but I think they're going with Will Ferrell, right? Is that what I heard?
That's what I heard. I don't know if that one is true, but that's what I heard.
So I felt like they did a good job with that. Will Ferrell will definitely play
Yeah,
be perfect for that.
yeah. I almost put him on my list, but then I've seen that on a lot of lists, so I was like, I don't want to do that.
Who'd you choose, buddy?
Um, did you have one besides? I almost said mine by mistake. By besides Philip Seymour Hoffman.
No, I couldn't think
No,
of one.
no, you're good.
Um, I thought too Danny McBride would be good, but then once I saw Will Ferrell, I was like, I can't do better than Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I don't know if mine's better, but I think it's actually kind of a similar thing. And I think you do it really well. I did John C. Riley.
Oh, dude, that is perfect. It's kind of
Especially,
weird too, because I'm a Will Ferrell.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, um, because he can
Oh
be
man.
super silly and funny, but I feel like he knows how to do it really well, where he's acting serious and comes off ridiculous. But you're like, is this like, have you seen some of his like games in New York? He's super
Oh
serious, but then also kind of goofy. And you're like, this guy does he not realize the situation that's happening.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's a good one. I'm jealous. You're doing a much better job than I am. My guy's been literally been dead for like 5 years. That was good. John C. Riley.
you can pick the next one, guy, and go first if you want, or I guess I went.
Okay. So we've done girlfriend of Jeff.
Hmm.
We've done Rick and Antle. Let's do I John. I can't pronounce his last name.
I think he's Renicky. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. It's like a mix between Reebok and Nike. Some knockoff free
Uh huh.
Nike.
Um,
Um, yeah. So I think is your turn.
think so. Um, so that one I stuck with what he said because I think I said it first, but Matthew McConaughey, I feel like that one just that's too easy for him. And I
Yeah,
don't even like
unfortunately,
Matthew
I did the
McConaughey.
same.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah. If they don't cast him as that, unless they don't want to do it, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
perfect.
Um, all right. I think this one will be interesting. Let's do Jeff Lowe.
Oh, that's where I was going, buddy. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably gonna throw you off a little bit, throw you for a loop. But he recently directed a movie. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was horrendous. And I think he was in it too, so I
Uh-huh.
guess it kind of counts. But I'm going with Fred Durst
Hmm. Yeah, I would never guess that one, but I could definitely actually see it. Doesn't
because you've
he?
seen Fred Durst recently, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks pretty rough now, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. And he's still trying to hold on. Here, I'll send you a photo. Maybe you can throw it in this little clip you have. But he's
Okay.
also still trying to like hang on to that youthfulness um, that is not Discord. I'll send you a couple that my mind went to. There you go. I just sent them through Discord. But yeah, that's where my mind kind of jumps to.
No, I can see. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I thought, especially that first picture. Damn, I couldn't think of his for a long time. I thought I nailed it, and I still think mine's good. But yeah, I think that one's better. I went with Michael Roker.
Oh, I gotta look
Fro-
this up. Michael Roker. Oh, dude, no, that's a good one from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took me a second. And Guardians.
Uh huh.
No, that's a good one. Yeah, I'd probably go that route too because I don't know Fred Durst. I don't know what his acting's like. They just look like him.
No, definitely. Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like
that's a good one.
Michael Rooker has the looks and also is kind of Ray seems like a bit of a hick, and I like him, but kind of trashy. So I feel like, especially if he was playing into that, he could probably nail it.
Oh, damn, dude, I could see him with the snapback. And also, the fact that he wore a snapback the whole documentary series, that thing had to smell so bad.
He also
There's
wore
some
that
snap. Was it a headband?
as a do rag underneath.
Oh, Jesus. That had to stink. Some days I wear a snapback. I'm like, oh, God, I got to throw this away just after one day. That motherfucker had, was it Oakley or some hat?
I think so. That sounds
That is
right.
such a douchey in the fucking, what is the UFC brand? Affliction. And,
Yeah.
oh, dude, could you, it's like someone took the douchebag definition and someone's like, yeah, this is my life. I hated that guy so much.
Um. So next we can do Carol Baskins. This one and the Tiger King were actually my two hardest. The Tiger King, I'm a little more happy with this. This one, I don't know who else I could cast. I don't think it's perfect though. I just don't know who else would be better. I did Amy Poehler. I feel like she looks a tad like her and kind of has the crazy eyes, and I feel like she could play into it real well. She obviously is better looking than her, but um, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good one for a better one for this.
Yeah, I don't. Wow, that's really good. My mind, I definitely thought of her for a second as well.
Oh, really?
That whole SNL friend group or whatever they are, the female like hilarious actresses.
Hmm.
That you know what group I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's funny you said that because the one you're probably thinking of, I guess, is actually officially cast as her, Kate McKinnon.
Yes.
Come on.
So that whole friend group, I'm bouncing around it, right?
Uh huh.
Uh, Catherine Hahn is where I settled.
I know the name. Let me look.
Pretty certain she's part of that group. She's from she might not be, but she's from Step Brothers, the
Oh,
the
yeah, I
one
know who
that
you're
can't
talking about.
sing in that scene.
Yeah.
Um, which I don't know. I don't know if she's part of that friend group, but then comes in fucking masked singer with the I don't know how to say her last name, but I think it's Anna Gastier.
Not even sure I know who that is.
She's done a lot of like musicals. She played the mom in Mean Girls. I think that
Let's
was what she
see.
was. You could if you want me to put in some photos, I can.
Should be able to find it.
She's definitely part of that friend group. I think she's known more for being
Oh,
singing
yeah,
and
I
shit.
see her. I know who you're talking about.
But once again, she's way more attractive than
Yeah.
Carol Baskins.
No, I can see either of those. The only other one I could think of, and again, she's way, way too attractive. But as far as I feel like she could do the crazy well, and she definitely has the eyes, would be Anna Faris. But like I said,
Yep.
this, yeah, you see it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Um, so
But for Anna though, I feel like she's done a lot of like on SNL. She's done a lot of like the Hillary Clinton already,
oh yeah,
and the prosthetics and doing weird characters. So I think she could do it, especially like I don't know. I could already see. What is her favorite Carol Baskins intro?
oh, I don't want to repeat it here. I can't have that in my video. If you can, if you say it, you can, but I can't on my end. Is what I mean.
I forget what it is. I forget what she says, but I just picture her saying it.
Okay, you're gonna make me do it. It's hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Hey, oh yeah, buddy, I can't get out myself. I almost threw up. But Kate McKinnon, I think, is the one that's been casted, right?
Yeah,
I think that's really good.
yeah, me too. Like I said, I saw that and I was like, ooh, I'll pick that. And I was like, oh, she's officially been casted, so I don't want to do that. And I was trying to think of these people on my own. Like most of these people didn't come up on list I saw.
So we just have one left now.
Yep, the Tiger King himself. This is the one I had
The
the.
Tiger.
This is the one I actually had the hardest time with, and I think if my person does it right, they'd absolutely nail it. But I feel like it might come off as a joke, so we'll let you go first.
Okay, man. I really had to think about this because I think they totally casted wrong. Nicolas Cage, I don't think it's gonna work for me. I'll be surprised though. He can be in some really good movies.
Hmm.
Um, so I was thinking, you need someone that's absolutely insane, that has the voice. I don't know. I don't think you can really necessarily write this character, so you're gonna have to like let somebody almost wing it and just let them say a bunch of crazy shit. Um, so I went with Charlie Sheen.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Was that not good? I feel like it'd be
I
hard
just
to control him on the set.
Yeah, I think you get too crazy and just turn into an actual another Tiger King. They'll just be documenting the movie. It'd be like Inception of Tiger King.
I'd be so okay with it though.
Um, no, that's not bad. I don't. Again, though, I don't know if he'd have the voice for it. Like you said, that's my issue. I thought if people looked just like him or people could nail the look, but I was like, he did bring a good point about the voice. So I tried to do a combo of that. Um, so I can't even do a joke. I was gonna say Owen Wilson because I think it'd be so fucking funny to see him as the Tiger King. But
Some-
mine was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh,
So,
no, dude. You're
I
on to something because you need somebody like that.
yeah, just he can just fucking morph into characters, and he's already done a gay character and fucking nailed it. So
Honestly, dude, you killed me in your cat. Even the one where you're like, oh, you beat me. Roker was such a good choice. Um, fucking Fred Durst. No, dude, that would be perfect. Dude, especially if you could somehow, as like a special features or a part or the end of the series, have Sacha Baron Cohen go around and fuck with these people, like the actual characters.
uh-huh.
Damn, yeah, oh yeah, he could definitely nail the voice. He'll figure out some weird way to. He's the type of person that would smoke cigarettes in a minute just to get that voice.
Oh
I can't even
Jesus.
like I can hear. It's the weird part. I can hear Tiger King's voice in my head,
Uh-huh.
but there's no way I could ever repeat that.
Yeah, I could try, and then I'll just. You worry about cringe? I'd be the start of the cringe compilation.
No, the rant at the beginning it'd be a twofer.
My cool cats and kittens probably already in the mix there somewhere. Um,
Hey y'all, cool cats and kittens.
well, if anybody's watching this, you can let us know in the comments. Cody said I won, but I think you got a pretty good one, so you can let us know who won the battle. Maybe I'll do like a roster on here, so it's a little easier to keep track of.
I
Um,
think both for both of us, but for definitely yours,
mhm.
your movie would be so fucking expensive. Those are big ass names.
No, that's definitely true.
One of mine is dead, so they can literally just that's like free. You don't even need to pay that shit.
Since say Fred Durst probably about the same price, but I feel like he'd probably really cocky and demand like the top actor.
I still need to watch this movie. I think it's called The Fanatic with John Travolta.
Weird. I knew he made a movie, but I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, I think he's in it, but I heard it's so bad it's good.
Huh. Sounds good then. Um, we can get on to the normal show now. We're like an hour in. Uh, do you have any corrections, questions, or feedback, guy?
Oh my god, we really just killed the time there. No.
No. All right. Me
I
either.
already have a correction though for this episode.
You want to get it out of the way?
Yeah, sure. Disregard everything that happened at the beginning of this. That was so bad, dude. I just didn't know who to talk to about this, which is another thing. God
I like
damn.
how you're this worried about it, but we always talk before we go live. And I was like, "You need to talk about anything?" No, I think I'm good. And then I don't care you did it on the podcast at all. I wanted to just be natural, but you didn't want to talk about it on the podcast, and then you're
Because once I started, I kept going. I think at one point too, I said I felt like I had autism. Like I can sympathize with that community now.
yeah, you said it multiple times.
Jesus, that's honestly how I felt. Like all social norms were out the window, and the fact that I was hanging on to social norms made me the weird one, and I didn't like it. Yeah.
um, no, I got you. Uh, well, if you have any corrections, questions, or feedback, you can send to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. And then you got any news this week, guy? I got some, but I always try and let you start.
Um. No, I think
No?
my news. The only thing I had for news on here was going through my notes is the closing of some Cinemarks, but we already talked about that.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I think for now on, I guess we could just loop. We can talk about sports and random things before the like the lineup of the normal show, but I guess we could throw movies in here because I feel like movies are already part of our normal podcast, anyways. So it's kind of weird to separate that news, I guess. Um, but I don't really know how to start this, so we'll just go at it. So we talked about a lot about E3. I don't know if you've seen. We talked bits and pieces in some of the episodes I did alone. I talked about it, but different companies doing their own events and how everything's kind of spaced out. So before we go into some of that, I thought I'd just talk about what's announced so far. So IGN announced the Summer of Gaming in June. That's all they said, but a lot of top companies will be there, and Xbox will be there, Ubisoft. So it sounds kind of just like a mini E3. And then EA said they'll have a digitally only event of EA Play on June 11th. Um, let's see.
Wait, sorry, I didn't quite understand the last statement. You said IGN announced a summer of play.
Yeah, they're calling it Summer of Gaming, and it's in June. So it sounds like
Oh,
they're like mini E3, and then EA has a EA
has
Play on
oh,
June 11th. Yeah, but
sorry, my mind went to that Xbox thing from like 10 years ago.
oh yeah,
The summer of play.
the or Castle Crashers and all those.
I feel like that might even have been longer than 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, it had to be.
Was it maybe 12 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say at least.
That's exciting though. I mean, it gives us something to look forward to. Is it? Do you think it's condensed enough for us to have a shindig?
I don't know because there's other events too. There some are on the same date, some are spaced out. So there's this is the worst fucking name in the world. CD Project Red Night City Wire is June 11th, and then Ubisoft Forward is July 12th, and then Microsoft having some new thing called Xbox 2020, which I guess they're kind of gonna do sporadically, like the State of Play, like Sony does or Nintendo Directs, and they said theirs will be in July for first party games like Halo and all the stuff they didn't cover on that weird last event thing they did. And then there's something called, I can't believe this is really it. It's called Summer Game Fest. I don't know how these two didn't interact with each other. But hey, why is one Summer of Gaming and one Summer Game Fest when you have so many different names? But it's Jeff Keighley's thing that he's doing from the beginning of this month till the end of August. So 4 months of game announcements and coverage. Not every single day, but um, there's going to be some here and there. And that's why I don't really know where to start this because one of the things that they announced, or two of them already, have been covered. But we'll go to that after we talk about the schedule more. Then there's something called Gorilla Collective on June 6th, and it's hosted by Kinda Funny, but um, it sounds again kind of like the IGN thing where they just have like a combination of different developers and publishers there. But then there's the PC Gaming Show, June 6th. I can't believe that's still a thing with E3 not around. That's the one thing that somehow stuck around. And then there's something called the Steam Summer Game Fest. I don't know what is different than the PC Gaming Show. I felt like that was kind of Steam's thing. So I don't know what the difference is going to be between those. And then let's see, I'm missing one here. Let me get to it. Oh no, where is it? Did I delete it?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I deleted it. But they said I think the only thing I'm missing is I don't have the date for Steam, and then it said that um oh there it is. Devolver Digital is still gonna do a some kind of E3 event, but they haven't announced when. As and Limited Run Games is supposed to do theirs June 8th, and then Square Enix and Warner Brothers haven't announced anything yet, and Bethesda already canceled theirs. and then PlayStation hasn't announced anything. They had another state of play today. So, like I said, first off, I don't know what the hell IGN and Jeff Keighley did they not communicate at all. Why would one be the Summer of Gaming and the other one is what is it called? See, I can't remember these names because they're so similar. The Summer of Gaming. Do you remember what the Jeff Keighley one was I just said?
Um, God
Oh,
damn it.
Summer Game Fest.
Summer Game Fest, yeah.
You could literally do like the Game Showcase IGN. Why are, that is so similar? I can't tell like which announcement's which when I'm looking at this shit. Um, but that'll lead us into the first thing Jeff Keighley announced at the Summer Game Fest. You probably saw was Tony Hawk 1 and 2 HD.
That was cool.
Yeah. Um, did you watch the whole interview thing they did?
I did not, but it was actually pretty funny. One of our friends, Peter, has been super into that game series, like a
Mm-hmm.
little too much. And so was my friend Andrew, and they just started messaging me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, Andrew did, and then Peter went out and finally found it. 1 and 2, they made a compilation for original Xbox, and he finally found it for a good price, so he snatched it. And I was like, "Oh, did you hear the announcement today?" And then I thought he was gonna shit his pants when I told him. So it sounds like people. I was never super into him, but it sounds like the people that were are very real fucking excited.
Oh, really? I thought you would be. Yeah, that was one of my like top PlayStation games. Me and my brother used to play. I know a lot of people only played the first two or maybe three. I played them as late as like the first couple 360 games, but definitely the first three were like nonstop, like Spyro or Crash Bandicoot was just in my rotation of like my top games. I thought for sure you'd be on there. Um, but I
I
don't
was more
know.
of an SSX guy.
Oh, really? I didn't mind
Yeah,
that, but I can never get too into it. Um, yeah, Peter was messaging me about how we better talk about this, but I already had it on here because I said I used to love Tony Hawk. And he said how we better not talk down on it. I'm not going to talk down on it because I'm super excited, but I do have my worries because I don't know if you remember in 2012, they re released something actually very similar called Tony Hawk HD, and it was um, a combination of some of 1 and 2, and they released it on 360 and PS3. And I remember downloading a demo being so jacked because I said I was the same as him. And I couldn't even play past the demo. I was already ready to buy it. I was just like, this demo will just give me a appetite for it. I know the reviews, some of the issues were that they didn't have all the game modes, that there wasn't online like you think there would be. And then a big thing was that they didn't pay for the soundtrack because all the licensing died out on that. And that does sound like issues, but the thing I remember wasn't even that kind of stuff. That was stuff I would notice later if I kept playing it. But in a demo, I could have sworn that the controls were so bad that it was like unplayable. And I don't know if that's because they didn't port it well, or it's the fact that that game was on PS1 and our minds are never going to be able to play it as we used to on PS1. So it's always going to seem like it doesn't control well now. Like
yeah,
in the
for sure.
interview, Tony Hawk was talking about how you can use the control pad or the joystick to have modern control with the joystick, but he said how his fingers still go over the control pad because that's how it's meant to be played. But I feel like that is true that modern is the joystick, but I feel like that's not going to feel right because it's not going to feel precise. But then doing a control pad is going to feel weird because we don't play with that anymore.
Yeah, and then like, is everyone forgetting the last Tony Hawk that came out?
Yeah, the last couple have been horrendous. That's one thing that I'm wondering if that gives this game hope because the developer of this one is Vicarious Visions, which they've done some crazy remakes. Like they did the Crash Insane trilogy. They did the original Crash Racing. They did Spider-Man 3. They made, I know a lot of people hate on it, but all the Skylanders games, which I think are very well made, even if you don't like them. They did what else did they do? Oh, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is a really well respected game.
Do you
So,
uh do you remember a few months ago when Activision was like, we're working on another HD collection of one of our famous franchises?
oh yeah,
This is definitely what they were talking about because they have no franchises with outside of the ones they already did. So I think it was pretty obvious even then that something was going to happen.
Yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Hawk.
that gives me hope, especially because Vicarious Visions actually made Tony Hawk 2, which is definitely one of the best ones. So they, yeah, or they helped make it. I know it was Neversoft, but they like part whatever co-developed it or whatever. And then I was looking at the last developer, and it was Robo Moto, and they developed. I list all those games that are very highly regarded, even if you don't like them. Some of their top games are Tony Hawk Ride, Tony Hawk Shred, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD. Like I said, that's their ones made the 2012 version. So I feel like hopefully that is the issue, that they were never a good developer to begin with, and you needed somebody like Vicarious Visions. But I said I also just worried that it wasn't the stuff that is missing, because they said how this is. I don't know if it's gonna have a whole soundtrack, but there's a bit in the trailer where they
Saw
showed.
that.
Yeah, but I didn't. I don't know the songs well enough now. I just they're ingrained in my mind, but I couldn't tell you like just reading that if that was all of them, which I imagine wasn't because they're combining two games. I can't imagine those were all of them. So I don't know if they're just getting like the hits, but they're gonna have that. They're gonna have online play, all the multiplayer modes, because that was definitely something that I guess was missing from the last one. Like I said, the controls were so bad that I didn't get past it, but I guess they didn't even have horse in it or graffiti or like the top modes that everybody played all the time, which would definitely bum me out if the controls were good. So I'm excited, but I feel like it's cautiously excited because there's been something very similar to this that everybody's very excited about, and for some reason it's ignoring now and acting like this is the first time they've ever done anything like this.
Yeah, I think too. Man, Activision, you guys gave them a lot of chances
Yeah.
to make shitty Tony Hawk games. Um, wow, you pretty much just named all the bad ones.
Yeah,
That's wow, wow.
when I was looking at that and I was like, wait, so they're the ones that made the one that I do remember being horrendous. It actually didn't review well. People main criticisms when I was looking at were the stuff I said, like not having the modes, not having the songs, but they didn't say anything about the stuff that I could have sworn I had an issue with and didn't play because of it, the controls and all that. But yeah, I was like, wait, maybe this is a sign that this could be different, because yeah, looking at all these their history, they did that one, but they did seem like every bad Tony Hawk game and a bunch of games I've never heard of, and some game called Big League Sports Connect.
Man, that's exciting because we were at the game store then, and I was like, "Yeah, I think there's a big announcement for this today, Peter." And then we looked, and it's like, "Yeah, the new one's been announced." And then he got excited, and then I kind of got excited, man, because I saw the collector's edition, and I feel like the collector's edition is pretty reasonably priced. It comes with like the game, and then you get like a skateboard and some other stuff,
Yeah,
and it's only like $100, I think, and the actual
yes,
game is 40.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, for one, I think it's fucking crazy the game's 40, because I'm pretty sure the it better be well made or some a lot more content. Because the last one was straight to digital, and I think was $10 or $15. But yeah, I saw what you were talking about. I actually had that on here. The skateboard at first, I was like, wait, $100 fucking? Are you shitting me? Because like I said, I remember the last one being 10 or 15. I know it's collector's edition, but then yeah, I saw it was an actual skateboard, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really good deal. I doubt it's a very quality skateboard because that's really cheap for a skateboard alone. But it's still, even if you're just using it as a collector's thing and you don't skate, you just hang it up. I feel like that's a really cool item, and um, I thought you would freak out because, like I said, I figured you're a big fan of this because it seems so up your alley, and we were so similar in these ways. But that was one of the coolest skateboards that you got in the game, so I feel like it's kind of cool that they did that, where like a skateboard you recognize or deck you recognize from the game, they made it like a real thing can buy. And I mean, if you do skate, that's even a crazier deal. If it is even a decent board that you could get for $100 and get that game and skate on it.
Yeah, um, I'm not even that big into the series and only played it like I remember when the first one came out, man. Do you remember that was one of the first games where I remember people wouldn't shut the fuck up about it?
uh,
Do you have a similar experience with that?
I don't, but that's probably, I'm sure it did happen, but I was probably one of those people, so I probably just loved that people were talking about it. And I didn't process a lot of things I do now, like how I didn't like how I don't like how things are talked about a lot and everything, so I'm sure it did happen.
And it was like every house I'd went to. There was a maybe a year and a half period where I remember just every house I went to hang out with my friends. That's what everyone wanted to play,
Uh huh. Oh, yeah, that's definitely, no, I for sure remember that.
and that's all people were talking about. And then we're getting skateboards. And I told my parents I wanted a skateboard because all my friends had skateboards because of this video game. And then my parents, like complete idiots, got me this one. They're like, "Oh, the guy at the store says it's a training skateboard," and I was like, "Oh, check it out, guys! I got this one." And they gave me a bunch of shit because it had some sort of. It was wider than other skateboards
hmm
and had a weird brick thing on it, and it was more stable and it didn't go. It was horrendous speed on it too. Like it didn't move at all. So that's why I don't probably have a huge,
Uh
huge
huh.
love for Tony Hawk
No,
video
I hear
game.
you.
But that collector's edition was kind of the hoarder in me was like, yeah, you got to buy that.
Do you see a
Do you think
very
you'll buy it?
no, I won't. I think it's really cool, and I do think it's a good deal if you're a collector or if you're, especially if you're a skateboarder. But you know how I am. I don't really collect things like that. I have some things here and there, but that's really like something. I guess sounds weird because I just said how that was one of my favorite all-time things, but it still is. But I don't feel like I have that connection that way with like the decks and everything like I used to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Um, I maybe would if it was like one of those things that it ends up bombing and then it goes really cheap, or even if the game sucks. That way I can get a
Hmm.
board like really cheap. I can see myself doing that. But if it ends up being something that sells a lot and just goes out and no chance at it, I'd be okay with that.
Let's see. I was. Damn, dude, you ready to feel old? When do you think this the first one came out? Unless you saw already.
No, I didn't. Surprisingly, 99.
You're right on the money, buddy.
Really, I was trying to think of when the PS1 launched and when that would be in that cycle.
So I would have been. Let's see. I'd have been getting ready to turn 7.
Yeah, that's
A
nuts.
few days away from 7. But even then, just remember being like, God damn it, guys, there's more video games out there than this. Why are we just playing this nonstop? And then it's like all anybody wanted to do. Kind of, I also got the similar thing happen to me when Guitar Hero came out.
Yeah, you always talk about you would have been, you wish you could have been friends with me. You would have hated me. That's me and my brother and all our friends. Tony Hawk was that was it for a while there, and then Guitar Hero I always liked, but yeah, it was never like that for me. Our friend Derek, he would admit he was one of those guys that his fucking fingers would almost bleed, and he could do Through the Fire and Flames on expert. So yeah, he was one of those guys that's like truly addicted. I just thought it was another fun game, so I know what you mean as far as that. But Tony Hawk, I feel like I'd probably fall into that category.
I also never knew the tricks
Oh really?
or any of the stuff you're supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I just I'm worried that the controls were always the issue and we just don't know it. Like you said, I was 9 when that came out, which is a fucking for one, that's a prime time to be your mind to get sucked to something and see nothing wrong with it when there probably always was issues. And then games have changed fucking drastically since then. So we'll see. It's I don't think I said September 4th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And I don't know if you saw if you reserve it at GameStop, it's obviously much less than the real skateboard, but I thought it was kind of a cool pre-order. You can get a fingerboard, like a tech deck of one of the boards from the or one of the decks from the original Tony Hawk. I thought that was kind of a cool pre-order item.
Or what you could do is go pre-order the collector's item at GameStop.
Yeah.
Get it all.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if I was for sure gonna do that, I'd probably down or I would do that, but I just don't know.
Do you during that whole skateboarding craze,
hmm
it's kind of funny looking back now on it, especially with seeing the I think it's called the Birdman.
hmm
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Birdhouse, something like that. I think his company's called Birdhouse.
Oh yeah.
But uh let's see, it's called the Falcon or whatever. His emblem that's on the board. Uh, Tony Hawk went from being like top tier skater, like really cool, but then I remember like after Jackass was waning um, God, what was that kid, that skateboarder that was really big when I was in high school? Ryan Sheckler.
Uh-huh.
During all
Yeah.
that, Tony Hawk was like the if you showed up with Tony Hawk gear and you weren't 7 years old when we were in high school, because I just hung out with a bunch of kids that skateboarded.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up during that Bam Margera fucking seemed like everybody was skateboarding. Um, but if you showed up with like Tony Hawk shit, you were a piece of shit. But at the beginning of that fad, it was the cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that. Um, I don't know. I feel like the Tony Hawk brand kind of got out of control there for a second and kind of got pretty watered down. Because I think
Yeah.
eventually Dick's Sporting Goods started selling his gear exclusive and just got real corny.
No, I definitely can't argue that. It's a bummer though, because he always seemed like the most down to earth guy, no matter how big any of this shit was.
Which is probably why it got watered down, because these people were like, hey man, what do you think about this? And yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And really didn't protect the brand,
Yeah.
whatever douchey thing people say. But no, you're right, man. Even on his, do you follow him on Twitter?
No, I've seen some of his stuff though.
Yeah, he seems so genuine.
Yeah.
Especially that viral thing with the TSA agent. Jesus, man. That's he just seems like all around good guy. You're right.
Yeah. Um. Then the next thing that was on the Summer Game Fest, I think yesterday. Did you see that crazy ass um Unreal Engine 5 tech demo?
I did not know.
Oh, you didn't. I should told you should watch it before this so we could talk about it. For anybody that doesn't know, engine in a game is just what powers it and gives it crazy graphics and everything and all the everything that powers a game. But Unreal Engine is one of the most popular ones, and Unreal Engine 5 is the first time they've shown it. You should watch it. It's fucking nuts. It's so crazy to see. Um, I keep telling you how I don't feel like we really need a new generation. I still think that, but this kind of stuff, seeing this, makes you be like, oh, kind of forget that for a minute and be like, oh my god, this is so great. We don't even need to think about that. And because I haven't seen anything like this before, I do think it's struggling from the thing all these tech demos do, where everybody's freaking out instead of focusing on the potential of what this could be. They're focusing on that tech demo itself and talking about how great that game will be and how Epic should release it. But they're ignoring the fact that if this was a demo and wasn't the first thing shown for PS5, because I guess they didn't say that, this was the first thing ever shown on PS5. It was running on PS5, and but if they weren't showing something that was running off for the first time on a new system, and they weren't showing this thing that was brand new and has never been seen before, the game itself, it's hard to talk about since you haven't seen it, but the game itself, there was like nothing actually to the game. It was so empty that I feel like people just get so hung up on things and don't realize what they're actually seeing. Like the tech demo shows off this crazy ass lighting system that games cannot do right now. Crazy ass textures that games can't do right now, even like high end PCs. And Epic is showing that themselves. They said high end PCs will be able to at a later date, but like right now, they those can't even do it. And just crazy shit that I've never seen in games, and it was so cool to see. But I said I was thinking in my mind, I was like, man, you could apply this to so many different games. But it seems like the talk is all about how Epic needs to release that game, and this is a game that everybody always wanted. But if you look at, there's like nothing actually to the game besides the pretty effects and the visuals of it.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Crisis.
Yeah, and even that game ended up having something to it. But yeah, that's I feel like there's every generation that happens. I can't remember what it was. There's something like that on PS4 and Xbox One, and people wouldn't shut up for about even like 5 years later, talking about how they made a mistake not releasing this game. When like I said, if you saw that trailer in a normal E3, people might go, "Oh, that looked pretty." But wait, what the fuck was that? They didn't really show anything. But the fact that people just see something brand new and see something that they've never seen before, then oh, this has to be amazing. Even though there's not really much to it, and you should watch the. There's a Unreal Engine tech demo of it where it's just that, but you should watch the version with Jeff Keighley because he interviews people from Epic, and a lot of stuff's interesting. But I don't know if you've ever seen Tim Sweeney. He's the head of Epic. Have you ever seen an interview with him?
I'm thinking I remember some E3 shit. I think was he there last year for or a couple years ago when they announced Fortnite for Switch?
If he was, I don't remember him. He has like really big glasses, kind of receding hairline.
Let me look him up real quick. Tim. No, but this guy looked fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's why you should watch it. It's a bummer because again, he seems like the nicest guy in the world, and every time I hear something about him, he seems like just a nice guy. But it's one of those things that he sounds so fucking nerdy, and it's just so hard to listen to him. But you can tell it's one of those things that he's so fucking smart that he doesn't know how to interact with people because interacting normal is kind of dumb to him because he's such an actual genius. But then also, like I said, he's obviously a nice guy because he's humble and not like, oh, you're stupid. He's just talking to people naturally. But it's entertaining to listen to him.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a mix between Ryan and Dave if they combine together. It's a couple of friends in our friend group.
Yeah, you should watch. I'm sure you've heard people say about like John Carmack and people like that. They're just so smart and they seem like nice guys in the world, but
Mm-hmm.
they seem awkward and don't know how to interact. But it's actually kind of reverse because they're so smart that we don't really know how to interact with them, and it's kind of just a back and forth.
You know, looking at his pictures here on Google Images, just going through the sea of him,
Uh,
I can hear his voice. Because John Carmack, it's like you wouldn't expect that voice from him, but this guy,
I
you're really expecting it.
Yeah, I was gonna imitate it, but I always butcher it, and I don't want to be cringe compilation. I would say the best way to say it is a nerdy voice. I always do, but then put a little bit of like Kermit the Frog in there, and you got this
Uh,
guy.
Jesus, man, yeah, that's pretty bad. Sorry, not Carmack. You expect that voice from looking at pictures. I always mix him up with Romero. Romero
Oh
looks
yeah,
like a singer of a metal band, and you don't expect that voice from him, but it's there.
yeah. I actually, for some reason, I never just disagree on here. I was like, oh yeah, but I actually thought about John Carmack because I don't know. I feel like he kind of looks nerdy too, but um, so no, that one makes a lot more sense though. If you ever watch the behind the scenes on Gears of War One, it came with a special disc. I think you had to buy collector's edition or whatever. Did you ever watch that though? Like the making of it and behind the scenes?
No.
Oh damn it, he's in that, and they're trying to be funny with it, and it's so cringy. You'd love it. He Cliff Blazinski's already a douche, and he's talking about all this kind of stuff, and so yeah, Tim's a great guy. He's really humble. And he's like, hey, I'm just going out of the office, and then he gets in a Lamborghini and pulls away. Yeah, I gotta go pick up another Lamborghini. Oh, this is so fucking terrible. And they're trying to be funny
Uh,
with it, but it's so bad. You'll have to watch
I
from
would
your river
I would
sometime.
love to talk. Oh no! I just found a photo of them together. That's funny. Google was listening to me.
Yeah, it can
Um,
be like more polar opposite looks wise.
Jesus. So I wonder what the thought process with Cliffy B, and that they took this game that he kind of set the groundwork for, and then turned it into like the biggest thing in recent history for video game wise.
Yeah.
And why his company crashes and burns, and he goes into some weird exile, and he's hiding now. Um, and probably missed out on a lot of money. I wonder what his thought process is. Like, I would like a long interview, like maybe a Joe Rogan style interview with him to see where his mind is. And I kind of feel bad for him, but then I think, like, yeah, he's from what I can tell, I don't know him personally, of course, but he seems kind of douchey, like you said.
Yeah, I've always gotten bad vibes, and the more I hear about him, the more I dislike him. And I would feel bad if he got like kicked out, but I know he left Epic because he was tired doing Gears of War. So it wasn't like kind of thing where he got like pushed out, at least from all the stories that have been told about him, what he said himself.
And
So
I know Xbox had to thought about buying them at some point.
yeah,
I don't know if that's ever happened, but I know Xbox be like, fuck, we really missed out.
yeah, that was well, actually, I guess say one thing before I move on from Tim Sweeney. They're doing the whole awkward video conferences, and again, these people, giant tech company, and showing an engine all about tech, and all their streams are so bad and such low quality. And Tim Sweeney's, like I said, the guy has fucking multiple Lamborghinis, and his was him sitting way too close to the camera and not really looking at it, and a really cheap looking desk behind him, and then on the floor was a Vandegraph, which is the thing where I don't know if you know what those are. It's
Mm-mm.
I had to look at the name for it, I won't lie, but I didn't know if I could describe it, so I had to look at the name. It's those things that where you put your hand on it and it's like static and it makes your hair shoot up.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one of those sitting on the floor, a desk, and then him not knowing how he's looks like he doesn't know how to use a camera, and that's it. And it's so
Like
awesome.
every 13-year-old boy.
um, but actually, that was another thing that really excited me is that I know Fortnite gets a lot of hate and a lot of it rightfully so, but I still love Epic and I wish they would do more. But for one, I guess they do power majority of games and give us some of the best tech possible. Seeing they're not making games, they make a lot of games possible. And I'm hoping that Fortnite is so gigantic that they could literally support that and make multiple games and have teams doing multiple things. That I really hope they're trying to make some new stuff for the next gen and using Unreal Engine 5 to do it.
Yeah, man. When I don't know shit about engines, completely clueless,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely felt like one of those that's been around for a minute, and you would think it's probably aging or something or waning popularity wise. Um, so it's nice to see them doing something with it.
Yeah, you'll have to watch this. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it. They, I don't know. Well, for one, the impressive part about it is actually playable on PS5. Like they said, anybody has a development kit can play this. It's not just like a straight up tech demo. It's literally a playable thing. So the way they showed it, some a developer can go and play it, and it'd be a different thing happening. It's not like a choreographed thing that's like preset. It's a real thing. So all this is in real time, and a game could literally look like this. Whether a developer takes the time to actually make the most of it is obviously a bigger thing. That's why I hope Epic does, because I feel like they're showing it at its best potential. But obviously, a lot of developers probably won't take the time and care that Epic does with their own engine. But some of the stuff they were showing um, was they said how there'll never be like texture pop in, which is definitely a big problem with Unreal Engine 4. Like Gears of War is one of the prettiest looking games, but you remember if you're far away, there's like the textures are blobs and take a few, probably 30 seconds to load in sometimes before they turn into their beautiful animations. And
And
there's
a
a lot
lot
of,
of, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. You're good.
I was just gonna say, I think the term is poppins,
Yeah.
pop in.
Uh huh.
I've always noticed that a lot. Just mainly because I've also just kind of replayed the first three in
Yeah.
like the 3 months.
Yeah. They said how that won't be an issue anymore, which I feel like they're going to say that kind of stuff. If that really isn't, that'd be fucking nuts. And they said there'll never be a need for loading again. The loading is done for. This all kind of stuff like they say, but that's not the kind of stuff they prove. So I don't know how true it is. And there is a point in the demo where she's going through this canyon and is like slowly pushing herself through it. So I don't know if that's like a way to hide the load. And technically, there isn't loading, but there's going to be those points where you're obviously slowed down so it can load. Um, but overall, it's super impressive, and everybody should check it out. And if you check it out, we can talk about it more next week. It's just kind of hard to, especially a tech demo, talk about it back and forth without you seeing it.
Sounds good, buddy. I will actually I tell you what, I will pull it up right now. So after this podcast is over, and I stop cringing, I'll give it a go here. So Epic. Oh God, what is their engine
Unreal
called again?
Engine.
Unreal. That's just Unreal, dude. Unreal Engine.
They make some. If you watch the version with Jeff Keighley, they make some bad jokes about that. And yeah, sometimes it seems real. I was gonna say unreal. Oh, geez, no, stop.
Okay, so it looks like there's a 10-minute video here.
Yeah, that one's just a
9-minute
tech
video.
demo. Yep.
Okay, I will give that a go after I'm done here. Let me see if I can find the Jeff Keighley one because that sounds way better. Okay.
The nice part about
Oh,
this tech demo too.
reacting to it.
Oh God. The nice
Oh,
part about the
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
nice part about the tech demo is too that I'm not an expert with game engines either, and I know a lot of stuff I do because I play games and I follow it, not because I know a lot about engines. But something that helps is they're doing the demo, but they have somebody narrating it and slowing it down and explaining things and breaking down why it's so crazy. So that's one of the helpful things you can see if you know games. Then the things they're saying make sense of what you could see in potential of games, and that's why I don't know why everybody's so fixated on what they saw instead of what actually the potential of what they're showing.
Yeah, man. I kind of said I kind of want to watch this right now, but I can't.
Yeah, I'll try and for now on, I'll try and start sending you stuff that I'm going to talk about so that way you can watch it. Because the next thing I was going to talk about, I doubt you watched that because it's from today. Did you watch the State of Play from PlayStation about Ghost of Tsushima?
I did not, but I'm seeing the reactions. I'm seeing some mixed stuff.
Mixed stuff. It was, I've been excited about it, but like I said, at E3, it seemed like kind of like this tech demo where they showed something super impressive, but there wasn't much to it. So I was like, I don't know if this is just one of those things that they show a bit of it and they get rest of the game like that or what. But they did an 18-minute breakdown of it, and I am super jacked for it. It's one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen, easily,
Oh
and
wow.
kind of conflicts with what I just said about how impressive that is and how it makes you forget about current gen, about how we don't really need to evolve. Because I feel like this game is evidence of that you can do better, but also these generations could do so much more if they had a time with it. Because like, if you compare this to one of the first PS4 games, you would think they were different generations. I can't believe this isn't a PS5 game. The way the grass moves and how seamless the open world is, and the water and the flowers, it looks like it almost looks like a tech demo for PS5 that there's like nothing to it, and you're like, this just seems too good to be true. And it almost seems like that because the first like 5 minutes is all exploration, so he's just running around. So that man, this game, this is not what they showed at E3. E3 they showed some crazy ass like samurai shit and battles. And I was like, this seems like it is gonna be one of those things that they tricked you with a 5 minute slice and it's not actually there. But then like 5 minutes in, they're like, now let's see some combat, and then they go to that, and it looks like an E3 demo. And I think you're gonna be super excited for it. I think it looked fucking amazing.
I saw some screenshots from it. Some of like the leaf physics.
Uh huh.
And that shit already looks like my style of game.
Yeah, I think the art, the visuals, the graphics are stuff like I've never seen before. And then like I said, that's not enough for me though. But the that when they started showing the combat and the gameplay, I was like, holy shit, all this together, this looks amazing. And then I absolutely love Infamous, and Sucker Punch, the developer of this, made Infamous, and then they made Sly Cooper, which I like. So I feel like they already have a good track record. So my biggest worry, as I said, is that it was an empty game, and that demo was just a slice of something that's not really going to be there. But this gave me so much more hope and made me super excited.
Yeah, man. I was going back and forth on whether or not to grab the collector's edition
Mm-hmm.
because some of the PS4 ones shoot way up, especially the first of a series. Because imagine if it's gonna be a hit, and I don't know. I'm kind of at the point of hovering over add to cart at Amazon. So you're just getting more excited for it. But something that kind of concerns me, man, is I have an actual launch PS4. like day one PS4.
Oh, really?
What? Yeah, what will that run like?
Yeah, that's true. I don't have a pro model. I don't have the launch one, but um, yeah, that's true. That's yeah, I doubt it can look like what they were showing, but like I said, what they were showing was definitely real gameplay from PS4. So I feel like, yeah, it might not look up to that standard, but I feel like it's still gonna look better than most, if not any game you've played, because it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I might have to. Once this is over, that's something else I might. So check in next week. Did Cody spend more money that he shouldn't?
um, and then like a couple more things. There's actually a lot news wise this week. Did you see that PlayStation Studios announcement?
Um, what was it about?
So PlayStation Studios, so like Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, any studio they own. It was I think Sony PlayStation Entertainment Company before, and they rebranded Sony Studios or PlayStation Studios. So any game that is owned by them or a company is owned by them, like Naughty Dog or anything, will have that now. But they put out a really cool cinematic trailer of it's total fucking rip off of Marvel, but it's like the four symbols coming together, like the triangle, square, um, X, and uh, circle. Why was I missing it? And but they're like spinning around, and as they're spinning around, you see Sackboy and Nathan Drake and like all their iconic characters, and then like goes to the end. But it's just a new thing to advertise that they rebranded. But I just thought it was kind of cool that, like I said, even though they totally ripped off of Marvel, and they definitely did, I always thought that intro that Marvel has is really cool and gets you excited, even if you're not that into Marvel, because it kind of like makes it feel epic. So even though it's a rip off, I thought it was cool. PlayStation did the same thing.
Yeah, I like that. It seems like the my big issue with Xbox is they seem to be doing the opposite of building a strong um, first party games. They seem to if course correction, with last year. That was last year, right? I made those announcements.
Yeah, that was last E3.
Man, that feels more recent than what it is. Um, they've trying to fix some of that stuff, but sometimes, man, I'm really jealous of the stuff Sony does.
Yeah, I feel like I think it'd be easier to judge if they're doing a better job in July at this event, because I feel like there has to be first party games we don't know about or know very little about, and then we're obviously going to see the games that we do know about, like Halo and their expected games. That I feel like get them hyping this up for the past couple of years about buying all these studios and everything. I feel like hasn't been able to come to fruition because obviously a lot of that has been for the next gen. So I feel like it'll be easier to judge once July passes.
Yeah, I agree. But then people also say you boil down Sony's games and they're all just third party or third person action.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But man, there's some really good third party action games.
um, I was actually thinking next week, if you want, I thought it'd be interesting to do a top 10 most anticipated games list. I feel like we did that on our original podcast and it was fun. And I thought it'd be cool to do it now and then maybe do another one in like August or September when all these announcements happen and see how much our list changes.
Yeah, I could. You said top 10.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do games that are announced or we know are coming. Not like I hope this game comes out, but games that we actually like.
Oh,
Yeah, so that way once I keep saying E3, but whatever they're gonna do for E3. Once that passes, we can see how much our list changes based off like, well, this game looked pretty terrible, or I didn't even know this game was gonna be announced.
yeah, I'd be down for that, man.
Okay. Um, so we talked a few weeks ago now about Iron Man VR getting delayed from its initial release date of May 15th. They announced a new release date of July 3rd, which I think is perfect timing for that game, like July 4th weekend when people can hopefully be together. But even if they're not, I feel like that'd be a perfect VR game to have for that. And And then another one was Star Wars Pod Racer. I don't know if you saw, got delayed from. It was weird because it was due out May 12th on Switch and May 26th on PS4, and they delayed it on May 11th, so the day before it's supposed to come out on Switch. And they delayed it and didn't say any date for it. They just said we'll be back soon with an update. And I feel like that's super weird for a game like that to just have that happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, did they give a reason? I didn't even hear about this.
They said due to the coronavirus, but I don't know if it was gonna come out the day before you announced that. How did you not know that was gonna be something you need to delay?
Yeah, I don't know. It makes you kind of wonder, what are they trying to fix something and use this as an excuse?
Yeah, I said that a few weeks ago when this all first started happening, or when we, like, I guess more than a few weeks ago. But I wonder how many companies would take advantage of that because obviously you can't question them. Like, are you really doing this? Because then you'll get backlash for question them trying to worry about health and everything. But yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like there's definitely companies taking advantage of that, being able to. But well, we know nobody's gonna say anything to us, and we get more time out of this, or polish this, or add this, or whatever.
Yep.
Um, and the last bit of news, but probably the most important, today, Alan Wake turns 10 years old. It's 10-year anniversary. So I think we all need to recognize that. And Remedy, I know you watched this, so we need a new Alan Wake, a true Alan Wake sequel. And that better be announced at Xbox July event, Xbox 2020 as they call it.
How exciting would that be for everybody?
Oh, I'd fucking lose it.
It's some big ass news.
Yeah, I don't expect that
Game
obviously,
years,
but
dude.
yeah, that's part I couldn't believe when I saw that. I was like, that's not right. And I was like, oh god, that is right.
Life needs to slow down. It's getting weird, man.
You still haven't played that, you said, right?
I started it on Steam about quarter way through, and then I was like, man, I really want achievements for this.
You mean like regular achievements? Because you have achievements on Steam.
Yeah, Xbox achievements.
Okay, that's what I was guessing. I just want to make sure you knew those were there. Um, well, that was probably the longest news we've had in a while. You have any gaming pickups this week?
Um, yeah, let me. I thought I could memorize them, but let me grab them real quick, okay?
Okay.
Baby girl.
Look at that idiot. Oh, I'm just gonna grab games. Oh.
I don't know. Did I update you last week on what happened on eBay with the PS4 physical copy of
Edith
oh
Finch.
my, yeah, did I ever tell you?
I think so. Maybe there's something missing, but I think so.
The guy refunded my money essentially,
Yeah.
and I've been watching his account to see if he re-uploads it.
Hmm.
That still irks me.
I don't know if
But
there's.
so gaming stores are open
Hmm.
and Goodwills are back open. So I wore a mask and they're counting. I had to wait outside of stores, man. They're
Oh, I
counting how many
believe it.
people are in there. But it's kind of nice, man. It kind of limits how many people are in there. So
Yeah.
you don't feel, I mean, you kind of feel pressured because you're like, I got to get out of here so someone else can get in. But it's kind of nice. I'm going to save, there's a special one in here I got because of you. We'll save that for the end. But no, so I
Okay.
want to, sorry, I didn't grab all of them. Jesus.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, I'm gonna look for my games. Oh, is this an Xbox? Wow, he left. Well, I guess while he's gone, I could tell everybody that I never liked Cody, and nobody else does either. And yeah, he's just kind of a piece of shit. So that's all there is to it. Look at him, he just wish he could shut his door. Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm back. I got my games.
So good at podcasting. That's so great. Did you keep the conversation going?
I was just making fun of you while you're gone.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Mhm.
That's reasonable. Um, thought I had these close enough to grab. So I went to Goodwill
Mhm.
and well, first I got an eBay delivery for The Godfather the game on the original Xbox Collector's Edition. I might have mentioned it last episode. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Had a slipcover. Uh, then I got Max Payne 2 on the original Xbox at
Okay.
Goodwill for $2. It's this has been a busy week, man. I was just excited to be back in stores. It had been a while. The first Far Cry Instincts. I loved this game when my original Xbox.
Mhm.
I've been wanting it for a while. Found it at a Goodwill, really good shape, complete.
Nice.
Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox, which I hear is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it is. I never beat
so
it, but I played it.
it's in almost like pristine condition because I'm guessing this person's like, fuck this game and put it
Uh
on their
huh.
shelf. Complete, no scratches. And then all those were at the game store, right? Or Goodwill. Goodwill and eBay. And then I went to make sure if there's nothing here from Goodwill. So I went to a game store that they're really nice. There's several mom and pop game shops, and they're both kind of mini chains in Columbus. I'm sure you know this, Casey. I guess just for people listening.
Yeah. No, I got you.
One is run by kind of a really weird guy with a bowl haircut. Kind of I don't know, something weird going on there. So uh, but the other game store, they're really nice, and um, I love the workers. They're all really cool people, and we chat. And I went in there today to see him, to talk to him and stuff. And um, there was a lady came into the store, and you could tell like this was used to be a man, like transgender. Like it wasn't. Um, wow, this is treading light here. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's a woman, but you're like that. That's that used to be a guy. Just shoot myself in the foot this episode. Um, but so she came in. She's talking. We're talking games. She's talking to everybody in the store. Everything's going good. And then she brought up. This is a derogatory term, but she said it about traps in video games, which is like a derogatory term for really attractive females that are transgender that trick people. And the guy thought she meant traps, like as in like the traditional term. And so he was like, "Oh, like a this kind of trap," and she's like, "No." And then she went on way too long explaining what it meant, and it was really uncomfortable. Then she started flirting with the guy went in to see, and I could tell he was really uncomfortable. Um, and there's a fourth guy in there with us shopping, and she helped him find this game and talk to him about it. And he turns and said, "Thank you so much, sir." And it got real quiet, and then he went, "Ma'am," and walked out of the game store. And nobody said anything, and it was so hard to hold back laughter, Casey.
Sounds like you're a minute away from that GameStop viral video, though.
Right? That's where I was going next. That's what it felt like, which
Uh-huh.
made me laugh. But then the fact that if I'm in a situation where I'm not supposed to laugh, my body thinks it's the funniest thing in the world, and then I definitely need to laugh. Meaning that the fact that someone I can't laugh in this situation, I want to laugh. So it made it 10 times harder. Um, Nobody said anything about it. It was really uncomfortable. And then the cashier's like, "Hey, we close in 10 minutes." And I was kind of hovering because I was trying to get to the cash where you pay, but the woman was taking up all his time, and she stayed an uncomfortable amount of time. And I think eventually he had to just tell her she had to leave the store. It was just really uncomfortable flirting. and I didn't like it. But yeah, so while I was in the game store, while this awkwardness was happening, I picked up Ghost Squad on the Wii. It's an on-rail shooter.
Hmm.
Great arcade game. You ever play the arcade game for this?
No, I don't think so.
That was good. It's like a kind of like a time crisis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like games like that or House of the Dead.
Then I picked up Counterforce. Kind of looks like a um, almost like a shooter as well. Looked cool to me, so I snapped it up. I got both of those for $4.
Nice.
And then probably my biggest find was I just grabbed it because it's got a nice resale on eBay. Is Coraline on the Wii?
Oh,
Picked it up
nice.
for $19, and it sells for like 40 on eBay.
Hmm.
So I thought about maybe playing it and throwing it back up on eBay.
Yeah.
And then over to the 360 games. I got this game I've wanted for a while called Akai Katana. This is a shmup. He's had it for $12. It's missing the manual, but this is also I think another $40 game. Oh man, it is in really bad shape. I better pop it in and make sure it works. Because the disc was behind the counter, so I couldn't even look at the disc.
Yeah.
That's a little scary. I better test it out. And then one I've been wanting for a while too, because I want to play some sports games, is Blood Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
First one. I wanted to play the first one. And it just looks ridiculous. It's like
Uh-huh.
humans versus orcs in football. I don't think it reviews well, but I'll try it out. And then Shift 2 Unleashed. It just looks like a good arcade racer. It was the limited edition.
Nice.
Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
Um, you know what's... Oh, then I got Forza Motorsports 3, the collector's edition. They had it priced
Forza.
really cheap, and it was complete. It comes with like a keychain and a bunch of weird shit.
Forza.
Forza! And then, buddy,
Mm-hmm.
this is the game I saved for you. Okay.
Okay.
You might have seen it. It has a GameStop receipt in it, too. Let's see what year this is. Chun, 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 chun. There's no year on it. Oh, 2012, so not that old, but are you ready? Do you want me to just tell you or put it on the camera?
You can put it on the camera. I'm not sure if I'll come through, so it might be anticlimactic, but you can try.
Okay, buddy, you ready?
Uh-huh. Oh, boy.
I got it, but I can't play it because you told me there's some spoilers in it. So
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, let me know as soon as you play it, but yeah, I definitely don't play that yet.
it's a
I
really good copy too, man. It's like seems
Really.
like someone just took it out of the wrapper.
Like I said, there's a good chance you'll hate it, but I think if you go into it like that, then you'll definitely get some enjoyment out. Like if you were just playing it not knowing that. But I think the hilarity that comes from it, you'll enjoy it. And then there is some cool stuff aside from the fucking jankiness and the stuff that's wrong with it.
I'm really excited, and I think for all these games I just mentioned, I think that was $80, which that's a lot of money. But I feel like I got a shit ton of games.
Yeah, no, it's a good deal.
And it was supporting a local business that I like, and I know they had to have been hurting during all this coronavirus shit.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I actually had a couple pickups that were all digital this week, but so James, one of our friends and loyal listeners, I was gonna say crazy listeners, but that sounds offensive. Um,
Buddy, I think the last thing at this point is we should be worried about is being offensive. The last two stories I already told is just already horrendous.
yeah, and when I think crazy, I feel like it's like a sports fan, like somebody's fanatic is when I'm thinking crazy anyway. So shouldn't be offensive. I know how people can be. Um, but he was really I know all about this game, but I never really paid much attention to it. He was really hyping up Life is Strange and telling me and Danielle we should both play it because I guess I should tell you she beat Edith Finch and she loved it and she keeps bringing it up and talking to me about it and so she's trying to find more games that she might like and trying to get into games more. And he said this game's a lot like Telltale games and that's games that I told you those games are perfect for people that don't really like games because they're more like movies and games. And the PlayStation has the PlayStation. It's not like an 8-year-old man, but the PlayStation Store has a crazy sale going on right now with games up to 75% off. Some of them are like 5% off, depending on what they are. But there's probably like 80 games on there and a lot of good deals. And so Life is Strange, the prequel and the first one are $15 each, and they were on sale for $4. So I got both those for $8 when one of them would have been 15. So even if I end up hating it, I was like, I'd rather spend $8 than spend 15 or $4 and then have to spend $15 if I end up liking it. I'd rather just spend $8 and see what happens. And then there's Life is Strange 2 is on Game Pass. So I was like, well, if I like these two, then I only have to buy the sequel because I can just play it on Game Pass for free. But I got both of those, the prequel and the original. And then I got a Nidhogg 2 on the sale as well for only $3. In total, it was $13.80, I think, for those three games. And Life is Strange on its own was 14. And I love the first Nidhogg. I don't know about this one. It has a completely different graphic style, but I don't know if that's a good thing. And it was they added a lot of mechanics, but I feel like it's what made the first Nidhogg work is that it was so simplistic and everybody could understand it, even though it was challenging, and you could get like easy to play, hard to master kind of thing. But I like the first one so much, and this was such a good deal that I thought I might as well get it and test it out, and it's a fun party game, hopefully at least. But
Did you
that's
play it?
no, I haven't played any of them yet. Well, I only did it. I bought them last night, so it's not like I've been sitting on them. But yeah, I haven't played any of it yet. And Nidhogg, I'd rather play with other people, anyways. I mean, I could test it out, but I'd rather play it with somebody else because that game's always more fun with somebody else. Um,
Um, I'm slightly concerned though. I just realized something.
uh huh,
This podcast is called the Current Backloggers,
uh huh.
and I just named off like way too many games that I just picked up, and I feel like I'm not playing enough.
Um, it's weird you say that because usually I'm the one that has a lot of games. This week I only have a couple games and a shitload of movies, so that happens sometimes. But yeah, I feel like we could both get on that better and motivate each other, and maybe do like we did at the end of last year, and like try and work on games to go through, or maybe play the same game so we could like talk through games, or maybe have like more content, like play a certain game and then have like I don't know, a spoiler cast if you want to call it that, like a dedicated episode. Should we all have separate episodes where we don't have to worry about spoiling shit?
Yeah, I like that. We should definitely do that.
Because I feel like that
And
was one.
I should probably chill out on buying them, but it's so hard when you find a good
Oh,
deal
I
on
know.
something you want. You're like, eventually I'll get to this.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. Um, yeah, I think that might be good. I feel like Edith Finch, that was like the most natural and fun talk we did about games because we were just talking about a game. I feel like it's hard when you always kind of gotta walk a line because you're worried about ruining stuff, which I don't want to do for people. That's why I think it might be better have like separate ones.
No, I agree.
Um, but what have you been playing this week, guy?
Uh, Warzone came out with a new money mode or whatever their money section. What is their money mode called?
It was called Plunder.
So it's a different take on Plunder where they're rewarding combat more than going around collecting.
Hmm.
It seems that way. Like it makes more sense to fight now instead of running around and just focusing on objectives. I like it. I like it a lot more. Um, then they added in a new BR solo where you can buy your way back in.
I heard
It's
about
not
that.
it's not one and done. So I think they've added a couple cool things that I really enjoy, and I wish they would make all of them available at once. But I get it; you don't want to split up your player base too much. Make some dead servers or some shit.
That's why I
So
was.
I've been playing that. And honestly, man, it's been a slow week. With I cut down a bunch of trees in my house, feeling like a lumberjack, and stocking up on eBay stuff now that fucking thrift stores are open again because it's been so low.
Yeah. So they got rid of regular Plunder then for now.
For now, yeah, it seems to be their normal Call of Duty thing,
Yeah.
and getting rid of that. But Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I don't know. I'll I'll see
Gotcha.
if I stick with it.
Um, like I said, this week I actually haven't played much either. I played a good amount of Madden, and I don't know if you saw I posted on our social media that I was streaming a couple different times, which I might try and start doing more, even if it's not just Madden, because I want to get used to streaming if it's not high quality, if it's just a mic or maybe turn on the Connect or something, try and get used to it. Especially because I don't think we talked about it on here at all, but we want to try and do Extra Life, which is a really cool charity thing in November where you play for like 24 straight hours. So we're talking about how we want to do that. So I think it'd be cool to get a hang on that before we do it. But I lost in the playoffs to the fucking Patriots, and I don't know how to handle myself because, for one, it was already to the computer, so that was already sad. But then it's fucking Patriots just made it 10 times worse. And then Trevor lost in the same round in his game. So now Aaron just played a computer in the Super Bowl, and both the humans were out, and it just everything felt so off. And I just didn't know how to handle myself in the game before that. I fucking demolished the Bills in the playoffs, and then the Patriots had to ruin the party. And I don't get mad at games often, but I feel like it's just a fact that I could relate it to real life. And I was like, wow, the fucking Patriots again? Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I watched the live stream. I watched some of the live stream.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, your the gameplay was louder than what you were talking though. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Were you watching the Bills one?
It was Broncos versus I think it was the Bills because I don't
That's
remember the Patriots.
that's weird because I didn't post anything about it on social media, but I streamed a few nights before that, and Trevor wanted to see the game. That's why I streamed it, and he said he could barely hear me. It was so quiet. And then I looked, and that's part of what I said. That's why I want to mess with this stuff because I have no idea what I'm doing, and that's all the kind of stuff that is going to need a lot of adjustment if we're actually going to do this thing. Um, and hopefully, if we do, we'll have a more official setup like your webcam and all that kind of stuff. But he said that, so I went and looked at the settings, and on the Xbox, you can have the game volume is defaulted to 5 and your commentary is defaulted to 5. So I kept the game volume at 5 and put my commentary up to 8. And I was like, that's probably going to be obnoxious. I'm probably so much louder. And Trevor said I was way louder. And he's like, yeah, you can hear me. But Danielle was watching. She's like, yeah, I could barely hear you. And if you can't hear me and that volume is at 8 and the game's at 5, I don't know what the hell you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it's like I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't have a mic because I remember you streamed before where you didn't have a mic.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, wait, holy shit, he's talking. That's how low it was.
Huh. Yeah, I just don't want to be that guy that the game was whispering and I was shouting over it like a fucking newscaster. But I'll have to test out and put that up to like 10 and the game volume to 3 or something and see if it balances out.
Yeah, it was exciting though to watch on there.
Oh, thank you. I was thinking maybe even games that aren't Madden, especially if I can get like a new game or something. So I feel like I don't really get like games right when they come out anymore. I feel like it'd be kind of cool to get one of those and just stream it and see what happens. I was gonna say maybe The Last of Us 2 because I think I might actually buy that on day one, which I don't normally do. But that might be the worst game to stream because somebody actually does come in. Then I'll probably, oh, this person dies right here. And I'm like, oh, damn it. And I'll get ruined as I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But in general, I think I might try and do that more. And then the only other game I've been playing, and not very much more of it, and probably try and focus on more this week and beat it by the time we can get together next week, was the game I talked about last week called Deliver Us the Moon. That game that I told you came to Game Pass. And still feel about the same. Like I said, I haven't put too much more time into it, but the atmosphere and the sound design is so cool, and there's a lot of cool things to it. But there is just, I feel like you can tell it's low budget, and some things just seem off about it. But I'll try and finish it by the time we get together next week, and hope I have a better opinion on it.
Yeah, that premise is just so interesting to me for some reason.
Yeah, I think there might be hangups for you, and you might dislike some of the stuff I do, but I think it's worth trying alone just for the atmosphere and the sound design and music. I think you would really like it. And I mean, it's free on Game Pass anyway, so it's not even like there's a buy-in for it or anything.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, even though I haven't played much, I've watched a shitload. So I'll let you go first. What have you been watching, guy?
I knew this was not going to be something to write home about, but um, I like Post Malone, so I was like, I'll give this a try. I watched, I think it's Spencer Confidential.
Um,
I remember when the trailer came out. It's a Netflix exclusive. It's like
so
a
I,
Mark Wahlberg.
do they have him on the cover though, and like Post Malone? I mean, on the cover.
Yeah, that's one of the big controversies of this movie. Is people said it in the trailer too. If you go watch the trailer, it's like Post Malone's only scene in the whole movie
Oh.
is the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and Netflix is using Post Malone's face
Uh
on
huh.
all the advertisements.
That's what I thought.
And Post Malone is in the opening scene, and near the end, there's another like little scene with him. But I'm guessing maybe 10 minutes of almost a 2 hour movie
Uh
with him
huh.
in it. Um, and it's not that good, and it almost feels too low budget to have Mark Wahlberg and Post Malone.
Huh.
So it's almost like direct to DVD, a little above that. Um, but it was okay. It was a good little flick to watch, and I love Four Brothers, and I like watching movies about Boston because I just don't travel, and I've been like, oh, I've been there, and then being like,
Yeah.
well, I drove across that bridge, and just dumb shit like that.
Oh, I'm
And
with
I
you.
think Boston is really beautiful and has a lot of history, and I like a lot of stuff about Boston, so that helped a lot. And they also advertised like Corvette Z06, and I love those, and that was supposed to be a big part of the movie. And Riviera, which is also another car I like. So I was like, I like this. I'm down. And yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good, and there's some really funny ass parts in it. Um, the actual standout actors and actress would be Schusslinger, Liza Schusslinger, and Alan Arkin. Those two, there's the old man and then Mark Wahlberg's girlfriend. Dude, they did a really good job in it, and parts that they were together, I was laughing so hard I was crying. Some of the shit they were saying.
Uh huh.
There's some real corny parts. The pacing is weird. Um, Pacing's really odd. It's almost like a TV show pacing, but it's like it's a movie,
Hmm.
so the pacing almost throws you off, and it kind of messed with me. And it's almost like this movie should have had a twist and really didn't have a twist. It kind of had one that they slowly put in there that you saw coming,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty cool. There's some really redeeming parts about it that saved it for me.
You
And
said,
if you have Netflix, it's free, so
yeah.
might as well give it a chance.
You said there's a lot of redeeming things and a lot of things you like about Boston. I would say I agree. The people and the sports teams are anything but that. But other than that, I agree with you. Um, and the way you described that, you probably don't remember this because it wasn't that popular movie and you don't care about Taylor Swift at all. But this sounds similar to a movie called The Giver. Have you ever heard of that?
The based on the book Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
I just thought the movie was decent. It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift because that's why me and Danielle went to see it was because of her. And she's in it for probably two different scenes and not even really in it because she's playing a piano. It's kind of like in the silhouette, so you don't even really see her. But all the
Hmm.
marketing and the posters were all Taylor Swift.
Oh
So
Jesus.
yeah, they were clearly trying to do that, and then she just was like kind of non-existent in it. And then like I said, the movie wasn't bad, and obviously not biased at all because if anything, I would have been mad about that because of Taylor Swift.
So it almost even sounds worse than this one
Yeah,
because at least Post Malone was in it for an okay amount of time.
yeah, and I guess like I said, she was technically in it because it was her, but yeah, I mean that's hardly it, you know.
Wait, so it's just an outline of? Did she talk?
She's singing and playing a piano, but that's it.
Damn.
Um, I didn't mean to sidetrack you though. Have you been watching anything else besides that?
No. Did you ever watch Widows?
No, I know the name, but I can't remember what it is.
Um, he's a famous director. I'm trying to think of his name. Steve McQueen, which is already a crazy name. Um, but he makes some really good movies. He did 12 Years a Slave and Widows. And when I was watching that movie,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like it was trying real hard to be one of his movies.
Oh.
And because he has some like drawn out pacing, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they just missed that part
Yeah.
completely. I'm trying to think, man, did I watch anything else this week? I know I have been, but it's more just been YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think really counts. Um, I've been watching a show about EMTs in New Orleans that they do like cops, but with EMTs.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop watching it. It's just incredibly depressing.
Sounds like it
Uh,
would be.
yeah, especially because a lot of people die in it, man. They don't shy away from showing you everything.
Uh huh.
So I just like, man, I gotta get out of this. I can't do can't do this.
Yeah.
Especially because you get invested in these people they take to the hospital, and you don't know what happened to them until the end. And then there's just like a little clip that you
Uh
read
huh.
where it's like, when he got to the hospital, his whole family, he was while being surrounded by his family, he passed away. Cool. I got to turn it on Bob Ross or something because now I'm really bummed. But I think that's it, man. That's all I watched. This has been a real light week for that as well.
I gotcha. You haven't watched any of the pizza documentaries I sent you, have you?
No, I haven't. I kind of forgot about them, but
That's part of why I brought it up that might motivate you.
yeah, I could. I think I have them saved somewhere. I think you sent me a message on
Yeah.
Facebook about it.
Um. So what I've been watching is more of The Walking Dead. Still really liking it on episode. Well, I finished episode 10, so I'm on 11, and there's 15 in this season, so I got five more or four more, I guess, to go. And well, there's 16 episodes in a season, but this 16th one is delayed until who knows when. It was delayed forever ago now, and no date announced. But that's part of why I want to get caught up, so that way when the season finale happens, I can watch it and not have it spoiled like everybody likes to do or AMC likes to do themselves. So hoping to see it as it happens, or at least like the next day or whatever. Um, and then I watched a movie on another Netflix original movie called Fractured. Have you heard of it?
That sounds familiar.
It has the only recognizable person for me at least was Sam Worthington from Avatar.
Ooh, it looks cool.
I think you would love it. Somebody at my work, um, a girl there was said she'd never seen Wall-E, so I told her she had to watch it, and she said if she watched that, I had to watch this movie, and she was hyping it up. And I was kind of worried because a lot of reviews don't line up, but she said, you got to watch it. And I watched it all, and it was funny because I can tell you how reviews don't line up. I was like, is there any no names in it? She's like, no, it's just, you never heard of any of these people. They're all no names. And most of them are, seems like they're been in very relatively small things. But then fucking Sam Worthington's been in one of the most successful movies of all time. And I love him. I was like, what the hell? You couldn't tell me Sam Worthington was in it? She's like, I don't know who that is. I was like, Avatar? And she's like, yeah, that movie was terrible. I mean, I didn't really pay attention. I was like, oh my God. Um, but I think you would absolutely love it. And it's only like an hour and 35 minutes, I think. So you should watch it. I think you would lose it. But if you don't, it's not a long movie. But without ruining it, it's one of those movies you definitely want to know less about. So I don't want to go too far into it, especially if you think you'll watch it. But it's one of those movies that'll mess with your mind for sure. And I think it's really quality and I like it. But I think I can't say I personally love it because it was, like I said, there's not much bad I can say about it. But it made me feel so weird. Kind of like I tell you, Annihilation. I think that movie, I liked it. And I think it's way better than I actually enjoyed it personally, but it made me feel so weird. And this kind of does that too. Not spoiling anything. I'm just saying as far as vibes. Or I told you Pink Floyd. I fucking hate them, but I think they're one of the best bands of all time because they make me feel weird. So um, I think this does that too. I think the only thing I could really say that is a criticism is like a fair criticism because like I said I feel like they're trying to mess with your head, so I feel like that's a compliment to the movie. The only fair thing I say, I think the acting isn't bad for the most part, but there's some that are just seem pretty low budget, and even Sam Worthington, I think he's a really good actor, but I think he's Australian, and I don't know what it is because in Avatar he hides his accent real well, and he does for the most part in this. But sometimes when he gets aggressive, you can hear Australian accent, and it kind of throws you out of him being this American. But that's the only real negative I could say without spoiling talking about it, and I don't want to do that since it seems like you're interested in watching it.
Yeah, that sounds right up my alley. That's my kind of shit. And did you watch Hereditary?
No, I've heard that's similar though.
Yeah, man. Because you're talking about leaving the theater being like, damn.
Yeah.
And Annihilation definitely did that for me. There's still a scene of Annihilation that I think about regularly with the bear.
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
That one just it gets me. So yeah, this sounds right up my alley, man. I'm all about this.
Yeah. For me, it was again without trying to spoil anything. I watched it and I watched it alone, and it wasn't like terrifying, like oh somebody's gonna break in or like the scary movie thing. Like I told you, scary movies. Besides, like, I jump real easy. That can happen to me, but as far as like making me think or worry, don't really do anything for me because they usually are either so over the top or it's pretty cut and dry. It's a serial killer or it's a demon or something. So none of it really connects with me about like having to actually worry. It's more like this stuff that I think most people aren't scared about at all or doesn't really phase them. Like the stuff that weirds you out or makes you think or like the mystery of things or not knowing freaks me out way more. Like I said, there's nothing that should be really scary about Lost besides the fact that you're stranded. But the vibes that that show has throws me off more than anything and makes me way more scared than most horror movies. And that's another thing this thing definitely nails the sound and the music. Like all the notes hit the creepiest times. There's oh god, this shit is messing with me. And yeah, I think it'd be right up your alley.
I'll have to give that a go, man. You make me excited for it.
Yeah, I won't say any more than that. 'Cause, I mean, I didn't say too much about the story, but I don't want to. And then the next list of things is you'll notice some similarities just because it was during our Disney party. So we started with 102 Dalmatians, a live action, because I told you a few weeks ago we watched the original cartoon and then the original live action. So we watched that one. We haven't watched the cartoon version, but it was just as good as I remembered. And then we watched Avatar, which, like I said, is one of my favorite movies of all time. And that movie's just still so awesome. I feel like that movie, I know is really successful, but I feel like it gets a lot of hate. One, because it's probably so popular that there's always going to be crowds cool to hate on it. And I feel like another portion of people hated on it because the story wasn't unique. And I can admit that. I feel like that story's been told 100 times. But I feel like just focusing on a story isn't really fair because that movie did so much visually and um, advance in technology that I feel like it's pretty unfair to just base it off a bland story. And even that, I don't think it was a bad story. And I thought they told it well. I think it was just bland and that's it. And obviously, I couldn't watch it in 3D, but watching it reminded me how cool 3D could be and how I wish it didn't phase out. Because I don't know if you saw a movie in 3D, but I feel like that movie is still the most impressive in 3D and understood 3D more than any movie. Because it was cool having 3D movies or like horror movies or like stuff pops out at you or like the really gimmicky like jumps things. I like that, but I feel like Avatar understood that 3D works a lot better when you use it like in the environment, like to depth and like stuff kicking up or like you being able to see that that tree is way farther back than you would just look at a plain picture. And I feel like it understood that really well and makes me wish I had some way to watch in 3D and also makes me wish that 3D kept advancing, people understood it more.
Yeah, that's a weird fad that died pretty quick,
Yeah,
sadly.
I feel like that's a reason because like I said, I like some stuff that was really gimmicky like that, like the over the top jumping out. But I feel like that can only last so long. There wasn't people that took the time to like integrate it into their movies and work on the depth and like all that kind of stuff. They just piled on top of the movie. And most movies didn't even film in 3D, let alone like actually integrate it into their films. They just added on afterwards, which you could always tell a difference when they did that.
Most definitely.
Um, and then we watched Up, which I know is a lot of people's favorite Pixar movies. I've actually never, I thought it was good, but I've never been that big a fan of it. I will say, watching it again this time, I definitely liked it more. I don't think it's still nearly near the top of Pixar movies, but I did enjoy it more this time, I'll say. Um, and then we watched the Lion King animated movie, which you can't go wrong with that. And then we watched A Bug's Life, which I was. We each picked two movies, and that was one of the ones I picked because Danielle's never seen it, which is fucking criminal. And because that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. But during that one, we started playing Disney Monopoly and didn't really focus on it, so I need to watch it again. I was gonna say, even when I was looking at the list, I was just gonna say how it's just as good as ever, but I really couldn't tell you. We were so distracted that it seemed good, but I couldn't remember. I did also completely forget that Kevin Spacey played the grasshopper, and
Yep.
so this is fucking funny to look at now. Uh,
You sorry, go ahead.
oh no, you're good. I don't know if I knew he was a kid or what, but I feel like I somehow kind of knew that voice was so recognizable. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh shit, that is Kevin Spacey.
Do you remember how creepy that scene was though with the bar scene
Uh huh.
right after who ordered the poo poo platter? Or, who ordered the I can't remember. I can't remember how he said it. And he's like, "Ooh, me!" I think the caterpillar's my favorite character. God damn it, he's fucking hilarious. But that scene where he's like, I think talking about ants or bugs, and he like hits them with one,
Uh
and then kills his friend.
huh. Yeah.
That is dark for a kids movie. I haven't seen it since I was a little kid, but that scene used to creep me out. But I also was really into those action figures and definitely had the Kevin Spacey
I
action
did too.
figure.
Yeah.
That thing was so awesome, though, man. That was a cool figure.
Yeah.
I kind of want to look on eBay and see how much they're going for. I definitely don't need it though.
I feel like
Um,
probably a shitload being owned by Disney and Pixar.
I'm gonna say something controversial here, though.
Uh huh.
I liked ants more.
I knew you were gonna say that. I fucking hate you. Danielle said that too, and she said, "Well, I never watched Bugs Life. We just always had ants, and I liked both of them. It's not like the Xbox PlayStation thing. It's just I always liked the Bugs Life more, but I did like ants.
Because it reminded me of Starship Troopers. To
Yeah.
me, they weren't even the same movie. Like I get where people were coming from, but ants with that battle scene, man, I used to watch it over and over again.
No, I did
You know
love
what I'm
both
talking
of them.
about? Where he gets drafted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome, man.
But A Bug's Life had something that I don't know if I would have recognized as a kid. Um, they have Casey's Junior cookies. That's their like traveling circus thing, and it's spelled my way. So I feel like even if they're equal, that gives it the one up to be a better movie.
There is the one day I got really caught up in this clip from an animated movie uploaded to Facebook, and I liked it a little too much. It was similar to Ants in the fact that it was like a organized military battle,
Hmm.
and um, I was like, I gotta figure out what this is. But it was a French movie, I believe. I believe it's French, called Minuscule.
Hmm.
So if you guys are doing the whole bug thing, or if you guys are like want to watch something that's along the line, because that's a I feel like a genre that's not those movies are not made. But I really like Minuscule, and there's a few of them. I think it was a TV show and some movies or something like that.
Okay,
But yeah, you guys should check those out.
might look that up. Um, then we watched Saving Mr. Banks, which I think is an excellent movie and I feel like not enough people have seen that movie's so good. Um, then we watched The Good Dinosaur, which I think is definitely one of the most underappreciated Pixar movies. And like I said, I even said at the time when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks like it might be a bad Pixar movie. That movie's fucking awesome and one of the best movies visually for Pixar, I think. Um, and then we watched The Mandalorian episode 2 of the Legacy series, or the Gallery season, I think is what they're calling it. And so there's 6 episodes left to go because there's 8 episodes in the original season. And they're doing one per episode. We're doing Mandalorian Mondays, is what Danielle calls it. We're all watching one a week, but it is gonna be like that. Like I said, that 8 episodes total, and they're through 2 of them now, so 6 more. And this one focused on the legacy, so there's a lot more about like the history of Star Wars and George Lucas, and it was really interesting. I think you would like him a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds right up my alley.
Yeah,
I would probably want to rewatch the episodes, then watch it.
yeah. Um, then the only other thing we watched, but it's fucking great, and if you haven't watched it, you'd love it. Have you watched Lil Dicky's show called Dave?
No, I haven't. It keeps popping up. I kind of want to.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
how I was, and it was getting so much praise. I was starting to worry, but I just like him so much, so I wanted to give it a chance. And it's fucking hilarious. It's super inappropriate and crude and really childish humor, but what I think you'll appreciate about it is it's also super clever. So it's kind of like the good mixture of not being too dumb because the stuff they do with it is so fucking clever. And he plays off a lot of him being a white rapper and these ridiculous jokes about it. And I think the funniest part, even though I like him, is actually he has a lot of black friends in it. And I feel like they play up so much about um, like the not the generic white jokes. It's kind of like them playing up being like gangsters and crazy rappers that I feel like they play it off so well and it's so funny. I think we're only 3 episodes in. There's 10 of them. Even Danielle thinks it's funny, and she a lot of times can't handle stuff like that because it's pretty fucking gross humor, but it's fucking great.
sounds perfect.
It's somehow FX highest rated comedy of all time, which I that part's fucking blows my mind because Lil Ticky,
Always Sunny on there.
huh?
I think Always Sunny's is on there too.
Yeah, it is. Uh huh. And think about Lil Dicky even just like a few years ago, and then he has the biggest comedy on FX. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that we didn't go to that concert that time.
Yeah, me too. I wish we did. Like I said, I even seen him at the festival in Cincinnati was so cool, and getting a picture with him afterwards. And other this might be a real bad, might be a giant douche, and he's super nice.
That's awesome, man. Especially because that I don't think we'll ever see him at a small that small venue like that again.
No, yeah, that would have been really cool if we saw him, especially because then I don't even know if I saw any of his YouTube videos here. So we just go see him. I was like, I guess I will. So it'd been fucking awesome to see him like that.
Oh man, it's okay. We'll get him next time, Tiger.
So there's 2 things that kind of newsworthy, I guess we could talk about. Like I said, from now on we'll just do the movie stuff and the game stuff, especially these two relate really well to games anyways. Did you see that the rumor that the Kingdom Hearts live action TV show is in development by Disney Plus?
Oh wow, man, I'm in. I'm in. Live action too.
Yeah, I remember James said when we were talking about movies, he said it like that. I think TV show actually fits that way better, especially because there's so many different worlds in Kingdom Hearts. Like you could have a Frozen episode, and then like a Nightmare Before Christmas episode, or you could even do like cool thing where it starts out as Nightmare Before Christmas and then like morphs into Hercules going into the next episode. And
That'd be sick, man.
I also, for some reason, didn't think about Disney Plus. That couldn't be more perfect of a setting for it because there's already all these characters coming together. And then I feel like that's a really good way to get all the people that care about video games and Disney Plus. I mean, Kingdom Hearts to subscribe to Disney Plus if they don't have it. And then even if you give 2 shits about games, I feel like Disney fans will lose their mind because I don't feel like you ever see something like that where all Disney characters come together and like interact together. I feel
I've
like
never played a single Kingdom Hearts game, so my pure excitement is based on that.
yeah. Um, Live action. I hope it'll be like a mixture. I know you said that that excites you more. I'm not against that, but I hope it'll be a mixture, especially if they're gonna have like all these characters. I feel like it'd be really fucking weird to have like a live action. I was gonna say Hercules, but that's a bad example because that could work. But like all these Disney characters like Goofy, are you gonna have a live action Goofy and Donald the Duck, or is it gonna be live action like the Jungle Book maybe, where like the Sora the character is real, but then all the other creatures are animated still?
Yeah, yeah, because that's how I kind of think. But then my mind goes to their other live action stuff they've done. I've never really been super into those.
Yeah, I almost think I know people hate on CG. I know you're not the biggest fan of it, but I feel like really good CG would fit this perfect because even Sora, the normal human character, I feel like come off. It's already kind of corny in the game, but at worst, it's a game. I feel like come off way too fucking cheesy if it was a live actor.
Yeah, you're right, and I think I'd be fine with CG in this situation just because my issue with CG is when it's trying to tell me something's real and it's not
Yeah,
real. But I think these things are they're originally cartoons, so I think my mind would be okay with them.
yeah. I mean, this is only a report, so all of it might be untrue, and I couldn't find where it actually originated from, which makes me worry that some big sites were picking up on it, but I couldn't find where it originated from. So I feel like it's a possibility that's just bullshit. But I feel like it does make complete sense. Like I say, especially Disney Plus, I never even considered that, and a show makes more sense for it, I think. But also, that's the issue with rumors like this. It all makes sense, but if somebody wants to start a rumor, they're going to do it so it makes sense, so it does get attention and keep tracking along. So just kind of makes sense. I don't feel like really necessarily means it's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that you can't find the origin though. That is kind of scary.
yeah. Um, and then the other thing is, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this as one of the things that I would hope. I don't know if you remember, but Costume Quest. Did I say I hope that'd be a show or a movie?
I feel like you did.
I thought I did. If I didn't, I definitely meant to. So it's weird. I was looking at Costume Quest today, just the games, and a TV series popped up before it, and I was like, "What the hell?" And it's definitely based off of that. It says, based on a Smash video game series by Double Fine Productions, and it came out in 2019 and had or 8 episodes, and it says it's 2019 and doesn't have an end date, so that makes it sound like they're gonna make more of them or plan to. So I don't know how the hell this got out, but it's weird. As much as I thought this would be a perfect fit, the art style is completely different than the game, and I don't know why that would be. And it looks really weird and doesn't really look like the game at all. And it says that it's what is it? TVY7, which I guess is based for kids 7 to 11, which makes sense for that art style. But that was one of the cool things about Caution Quest is that kids could play it, but there's a lot of kind of like SpongeBob where the humor would go over their heads. So if it's that young, I don't see how they could do any of that. And then I don't know why the hell you would change the art style. It doesn't even look like Caution Quest.
Really? Yeah, and Costume Quest is like it's already a cartoon. Why would you change that?
Yeah, I guess this is the same series or studio that made the Castlevania anime series by Freestyle on Netflix. It came out in 2017. And then they also, I didn't know it fucking existed either. Ape Escape show in 2008.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I want to look this stuff up. And like I said, I'm not, the art style is really off putting, but I still want to give it a chance and makes me excited. And I don't really care if they do market to kids because like I said, I feel like the games did have a lot of adult stuff in it, but I don't think I definitely would, but I could definitely see a lot of adults not really paying attention to a cartoon like that if they made it into a show. So I get that you want to aim it towards kids, but yeah, I don't know why you have to change the whole art style and make it seem like something it's not.
Yeah, and it's just like unneeded, and it seems to, like you said, make it worse.
Yeah, I
It'd be one thing if it was like, oh, it added something to it, or
yeah.
it, or
I definitely have to give it a chance now I know it exists, and maybe if I watch it, I'll feel differently. But I more so wanted to bring it up because I thought it was fucking crazy that that and Ape Escape existed, and neither of us knew that at all. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I recommended one of those to be a TV show, and it was, and I had no idea. It kind of fucking threw me off.
Well, see,
Um,
Ape Escape kind of makes sense because it's so long ago. But
yeah,
Costume Quest, like, why is no one talking about that?
especially since they recognize that it is Double Fine Productions, and I'm guessing that means they helped with it or something. I feel like that'd be all over all the big sites at least. Um, so for the free games this week on Xbox One, you have V Rally 4 till May 31st, and this is probably the nerdiest sounding game I've ever heard. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr till June
Oh,
15th.
oh yeah, buddy.
And on 360 you have Overlord 2 till May 31st. I don't know if you played either Overlord games. I just think those are really fucking cool.
Well, first of all, I don't think I can continue this podcast with a heretic um, that makes fun of the Inquisitors. That's just disrespectful to the Emperor.
Um, if I had to, I was gonna say if I had to read that one title one more time, then I think it's valid. But I'm gonna have to do that till June 15th, which is fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's actually a game I've been wanting to play. So
Oh really?
yeah, I don't know. I kind of got into Warhammer 40K lore a little too much, and the Inquisitors are pretty fucking sick. So I'm kind of down for trying it.
Yeah, I don't actually have anything against the game. I haven't looked up that one at all. And the one you had me play, I thought was cool. I just that was the fucking nerdiest name I've ever heard.
Did you Eric Andre's skit movie came out? Did you see that?
No, I've never really been a big fan of his. It's weird. Somebody actually at work was just talking about that the other day though, and said I should watch it. But I thought, I don't know. I never really liked him. Just watch it. You'll find funny.
I think you will because you're probably thinking like his talk show shit. But have you ever watched his pranks?
Yeah, Corey from our work used to play them all the time. I never thought they were funny, but
Uh, it's
um,
unfortunate that he liked that show.
uh, I might give it a chance though. Um, have you ever played either of the Overlord games, though, guy?
Long time ago, I played the first one. I
Uh-huh.
loved the premise. Remembering back when it first came out, I don't think it played out that well. And I remember getting excited for the second one, thinking they'd fix the issues, and then I think it actually reviewed worse, if I'm remembering correctly, because I didn't end up
Huh.
buying it.
That's weird. I thought it was just me because I love both of them, but I didn't beat either of them because I didn't think it was a game though. I thought it was just me. It was actually like almost identical to Pikmin, like an adult version of Pikmin, and I loved Pikmin as a kid. But that was my issue with it was the mechanics work, but I feel like when you advanced in it, you had to be so smart with your strategy that I never knew how to keep up. And I felt like that's how this game was. I didn't think it was the game. I thought it was me not being able to keep up with it. But maybe the game wasn't balanced. But because I thought both of them were super well made and a lot of fun. But I felt like that's where it fell apart for me. That once you need to get really strategic with it and do everything right, that's where I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, I definitely did not finish the first one.
Um, then did you see the PlayStation Plus games this month?
No, but I'm excited with that little chuckle there.
People are sharing it, and they always share. I'm sure you've seen on Xbox and everything. People share fake ones of these for weeks every time before, and everybody just assumed this one was fake. So you got Farming Simulator 19 and City Skylines, which I'm sure Ryan's losing his mind because Paradox Entertainment or Interactive, sorry. Um, but I can't fucking believe they gave away two simulation games, and that's your PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I feel like I think they're trying to do it to be cute, like everybody's stuck in their house, so you can simulate things. But I feel like that actually makes it more depressing and backfires instead of trying to get your mind off it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, man. Is this like, are people reacting to this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's before it came out. Everybody was like, "Oh, another funny one. This isn't gonna be it." And then yeah, people, are, oh wait, this is actually fucking it, and people are losing their minds over it. And the normal overreaction thing where people are sharing petitions to change it and all that, the dumb shit. But normal reaction is just like, "What the fuck?"
I gotta, yeah, I gotta pull it up because I want to go look at Twitter and see some reactions. That just sounds great. Um, Not to jump back again, just because I meant to talk about it earlier, but
Oh, you're good.
the bad trip with Eric Andre. Did you see? It has nothing to do with. God damn it! What was Jackass's production company? Does
Oh,
something with cock,
Cockhouse, is that it?
something like that. But Jeff Tremaine is the producer on it, one of the lead producers.
I feel like I remember seeing that in the trailer.
Yeah, that kind of makes me excited for it, and I definitely don't want to watch these movies alone because I feel like it's better if you have some people with you.
Oh no, yeah, I thought you already watched it. I'll watch it if you want to. I don't know if I'll.
No, no, I'm saving it for a situation like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the right guy because I feel like I might drain your laughter if I'm like, yeah, I still fucking hate this, but I'll try and give it a fair shot.
Okay, if we maybe get a little group together or something
Yeah.
once all this shit's done.
Um. Oh, that's it. Dick House Productions.
Jake House, okay. I can hear the.
Uh huh. Anything else though, guy? I think I haven't been keeping track of time. I can never tell from this, so this isn't. Probably sounds like a bit like, oh, I think it's the longest one, but I really have no fucking clue how long we record these because I can't see the timer. But I feel like this had to be the longest one yet.
This, I honestly, from what I can tell right now, we were pushing close to 4 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we started about, I want to say, well, no, it would be about 3 hours.
That's
Three
still fucking
hours, 20
crazy.
minutes.
I think our longest one's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So yeah, it's easy to be the longest one then. And that's without me
That's,
even doing a solo thing. And I feel like there wasn't much time where we weren't really talking. There wasn't like much silence or anything.
I feel bad for James and Danielle. Thank you guys if you're still listening. If not, I don't even care. I'm not even judging you at this point.
Anything else you want to add to the long episode then, buddy?
Um, I think that's it, man.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna do a solo thing this time because we're gonna get off and play some games and enjoy the time instead of rambling about nonsense. So, as always, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Current Backlog, and you can email any corrections, questions, or feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. That's
You.
it, right, buddy?
That's right.
All right. I'll see you on games. I love you.
Bye. I love you too.